Hello and welcome everyone to this month's episode of Aliens, Shoulder of Orion. So we're just gonna go around, we're gonna introduce ourselves, say who we are, who we'll be playing, and yeah, I just hope everyone's ready, because I'm sure not. I'll just start with myself. I am Lindy, and I will be playing Captain McKeelson, who's also the medic, and entirely overqualified for both of those positions in the crew. So there's that. Shiny Pilot is playing the Smart Gunner Blaze, but unfortunately is going to be late because actual duty calls. So he will be back in probably about an hour, joining us, hour or so. So we're going to go on down to Deception Check. How are you tonight?
Oh wow, I'm in a different order this time. Great, I am doing amazing. I'm Deception Check. I'm playing Hank Granger, who is a bit of a oddball with this group. He's he's not military. He's a contractor. Works a bit on the wet work side of certain things, hunting down and retiring wayward synthetics, especially some that are 150 plus years old. Especially 150 plus years old. But I'm excited, so thank you.
That sounds rude. But we're gonna go on down to someone who isn't rude out of character ever. They're nothing but wonderful and a good friend of mine. We've got a guest again this month, Grimjack21502. How are you, friend?
I'm fine, friend. I was thinking, who's she talking about? And it's me! I am super excited to be back with this amazing group. I've been thinking about this game and how wonderful and accepting everybody was last time, even though I was playing a thunderous prick. But I look forward to playing Dr. Gerald Walls again, despite him being that. Back to you, Lindy.
Oh, thanks, Greg. We are happy to have you back with this week. Prick or no prick. Speaking of no prick, Nugatosaurus.
Well, that's probably the most interesting segue I've ever gotten.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Nugatosaurus. I'll be playing Violet the Synthetic. She has recently learned some things about herself, so it'll be interesting, and I am ready to fight some aliens.
I'm glad you're ready. Hi, I'm Lindy, and I'm real bad at transitions. Let's go for to D20 Coup de Grace. How you doing, man?
Yes, that's me. Today I'll be playing Corporal Red Brewer, and up until now we were just surviving on this planet. Now I begin to thrive.
Excellent. That is just as dramatic as I would expect anything from Brewer to be. Speaking of dramatic, we have our GM for this evening, the one, the only, Producer Trev, and the biggest alien enthusiast I know.
Well, okay, that's probably true.
It's definitely true.
I certainly have. I'm going to pan right at my action figure collection, but we don't have time. So, anyway, man, fucking aliens, right? It's game over, man. Not yet, though. It was H.R. Giger's birthday this week. Happy birthday to the strange little man who, between Dan O'Bannon and David Giler and Walter Hill and Ridley Scott brought us this beautiful scoop of space madness. So this episode, episode 6, No Spill Blood, is a very much a sequel, kind of a part 2 to our last episode because of the very serious cliffhanger ending. And so if you're just joining us, we're going to set the stage here in this first, what will end up being probably the first hour or so of this game, and we're going to see how many people survive it, because I may have thrown circumstances may have unfolded that pretty much everything but the kitchen sink and death itself is in the room. So we're going to see who survives this little bit, and we're going to start, and then the storyline where we're at right now is going to kind of unfold for us. So what I want to do is we're gonna do a tracking shot. Okay, the camera's gonna move, and we're gonna go through the facility, RF 292, the zoo, where Dr. Philip Jeffries, nay deceased or probably not, was doing serious research on behalf of the Weyland-Yutani Corporation on the XX121 xenomorph, and had crossbred with many various organisms, but the perfect organism only comes from a human host, and that's what we're going to look at right now. We're going to start, we're going to fade up on a coffee cup with some soil in it and a purple orchid sticking out the top of it. Seems to be smiling at us as we pull back at a glass tube with xenomorph floating in stasis, the light glinting off its icy black armored carapace. The camera tracks back through a massive lab full of tables and chairs and pipes and tubes, and then we see a second tube with a nude male humanoid figure about 9 feet tall, also floating in stasis. And we pitch forward, start to look down as we retreat up an elevator shaft and go up about 150 feet. And then we go through a secret door backwards and turn around to see another beast. The XX121 itself, the alien, standing and hissing at Blaze, who's a lieutenant? I have to ask Michael, right? I think I'm right about that. Holding a smart gun leveled at this beast that's hissing at him. We pitch left and go through a set of doors into Lab 2, where quite a scene is developed. Another beast stands in the middle of the room. It has fallen through the ceiling. On its shoulders were 2 facehuggers that have since leapt off of its shoulders. Hiding in a metal bin is Dr. Gerald Walls, who has used his hand to twist the metal and twist shut the handles of these sliding metal doors in this table, which on the table lays the corpse of a Yautja, commonly known to us fans as Predator. I have a special guest with me who's going to sit on my lap, so you all have to just for just a second while I hello dear. So let's continue to set the stage. So behind the Predator is who is this? This isn't Heston. This is Watson, who is Walter Brennan from Rio Bravo. Okay, and well, there you go again. We never can satisfy you. There you go. That jog your memory. He's freaking out, and he's got his pulse rifle leveled at the beast. Across his shoulder is a young jarhead who's, if he's a day over 18, I'll be butched. Corporal Lasso, who's got so much sweat pouring down his face that he's soaked out the chest of his suit, his marine armor. We've never seen a young man sweat like this. To his right is Captain McKeelson, who is holding, remind us, Captain McKeelson, what you're armed with in this moment.
I have a shotgun with me right now because it hasn't let me down yet.
Excellent. And to her right is the synthetic known as Violet. What's Violet doing in this specific moment in time now that the beast has fallen through the ceiling?
I'm pretty sure she still has Kennedy's radioactive gun. So she's probably preparing that, because I know all about these things and they are bad news.
Excellent. Camera turns around and goes past the alien, back through the double doors, back over the shoulder of the alien, right past the shoulder of Corporal Blaze, through another set of double doors to the north, where we see 3 more humans. Granger, what is your designation? Remind us, Granger, of your actual company designation and role here in this outfit, and what you're armed with.
I'm Special Investigator, Hank Granger. I'm assigned to keep an eye on these misfits and malcontents, and also, as an aside, I am charged with making sure that I acquire the research, which I have, and a species of XX121 for study. So in all facets, if what I heard was true, I could just leave this planet right now if I had a way off of it, and the mission would be over. But instead, I'm looking down the scope of my M42A scoped rifle at an alien in the other room, a version of XX121 that needs to die so that I might survive long enough to get off this godforsaken planet.
To his left is the head of Bravo Company, Lieutenant Coleman. And to his right, to Granger's right, is Heston, Private Heston, who is Animal from the Muppets with a flamethrower and a rocket launcher, period. Okay? That doesn't tell you everything that you need to know. The camera goes over these 3 figures, behind them, and to the left, into the storage bay, where red lights illuminate a scorched floor where dozens of eggs have been torched by a Corporal Red Brewer. Brewer, at the very last moments of last episode, Brewer did something really specific. Why don't you tell everybody what right now Brewer is doing?
Right now, there's opera music playing in his head as he drags a battery towards the unused loader in the storage room. He places the battery into the loader, takes a moment to just look at it, and gets in, places his photograph of his family that has long washed away, tapes it to the cage, and then he puts in his heavy metal mixtape.
Excellent. So we have rolled initiative prior to starting tonight's performance. Okay. So we know what order this is all going to go in. This is, needless to say, probably the most tense moment these Marines and company have experienced. So it starts with the beast facing down Blaze and what's left of Lab 1, which is an annihilated former holding facility for various xenomorph specimens, but was destroyed months ago when the Marines were here the first time. It's going to use its fast action to
Blaze
move.
gets to go first, because Blaze has a 14 on initiative.
Am I reading this wrong? Am I seeing everything for turn order? Yes, he does. Oh, I got to redo my order thing. Okay. Blaze. Oh my God. Okay. Blaze. So when you fire, and let's be clear, because we're going to attempt to play this goddamn game. You get a +3 because you are at engaged range. Okay. It's not short. It's engaged. Okay.
So, all right.
And then we talked about aiming,
Which would give a
the
+2.
opportunity, which would give you a +2. Anyway,
What
I'll tell you how
about
to run.
what about retreating from the room?
That's an option.
Well, I'm just saying, can he fire and then retreat into Bay 2?
Yes.
That's
It's a slow action fire and a fast action to retreat.
I
But
think
he can't aim if he does that though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
so. He's gonna forego aiming, and he's gonna fire and say, "Engaged! It's lab 2, and
Oh! 3 successes.
then he's gonna attempt to retreat back into Bay 2.
The smart gun flare goes like that cross-shaped pattern. Bullets fly, pierce the dark, and ping off the armored carapace of the beast. It hisses and growls and ducks its head. Granger. Blaze comes through the doors backwards, beating a fighting retreat. Your turn.
All right. Well, I asked a question in chat, by the way. He's going to aim at that creature if he can see him. If not, he's going to angle through the doorway so he can get a shot on the creature.
Let's talk about that. Frank is asking, and we're trying to play the. Let's get in an attempt to play the game. Frank is asking if, so he did 3 total damage, and
He had 3 successes on his attack.
Oh right, okay, right, yeah, we're not doing it. Okay, so what's the base damage on
3.
The gun is a 3.
So
he
3,
can
4, 5.
So it could be
Mhm.
5, or he can choose to do something else with that because you gave us that new combat stunts. You can inflict 1 additional point of damage. You can outmaneuver your opponent, trade initiatives with them. Target drops a weapon, falls to the ground, or is knocked back, grapple, or pinned down.
Okay, that's up to That's up to Trip, who is playing Blaze. So we're gonna rewind just a little bit
Sorry.
because you did 2 points of you get
2 stunts.
2 stunts.
You could do 2 points of damage to it.
I think he'd be more for pinning it down right now. Right?
You could do a pin and a point of damage. 'Cause
I
of-
think that's what he want to do. He want to make it stay where it is because he doesn't want it following him, and then do some damage.
Okay.
That's what I don't know what pin down does, but that sounds like it stops him from moving.
We're gonna look at that next. So
They need to make a panic roll. Oh, no, PCs need to make a panic roll. Let's see.
oh my god, is that for real?
That's
All right, how much armor?
Oh no, you pin down your enemy. They need to make an immediate panic roll.
And aliens don't have panic.
Okay, so it would just pin down.
And you retreated, so you're not in
flash range.
you're not in close range, so the acid splash doesn't hurt Blaze. So the smart gun fires and puts a hole right through the shoulder of this alien. Acid sprays the back wall, and smoke immediately licks from the corrosive acid, scorching the wall behind it. This alien lets out a shriek that you can feel in your bones. Granger,
Yes.
what were you doing?
I'm just recognizing that he's getting out of the way, and as soon as he is clear and I have a shot, I'm going to take my shot. I'm going to aim, and I'm going to put a hole in this damn thing.
So these are big doors. right? And the squares on roll 20 are like enough for two people to stand abreast, right? They're about 3 to 5 meters, right? And so you have a clear shot.
All right. Well, then I will aim and take my shot with my M42A. And I believe I get a +1 for aiming.
+2.
+2.
+2 for aiming. All right. So let's go ahead and submit that. 1 success and a panic.
What's the damage on your rifle?
It's a 2.
So that's 3.
Can I push that roll?
Yes, you can.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I get a stress.
So you add a stress and roll it again at a -1.
All right. Roll it again as a -1. Got it. Oh, I -10. Sorry about that. That we'll take that away.
And don't do that.
Yeah, well, sorry. Let's try this again. Pushing. So that's an extra success.
Oh.
So
that's
4,
2
3 total. 4.
It's 2 successes total. So I'll add another point of damage. That's 3 damage total.
3 total.
3 total.
Oh.
So, wow. So where do you hit this thing?
I'm aiming for the face, whatever it might be a face. There's this bulbous thing on the top where a head should be. So I imagine that's a head of some kind. I don't know if it has a brain or if it's distributed throughout its entire organism, but I want to just blow up the space where a face would be. I'm adding eye holes in it so I can see it looks like a face.
You put a bullet right through this thing's mouth and through its neck, and it continues to scream bloody murder, its tail twitching, scratching the wall behind it. And it doesn't look good. There's so much acid on the floor now that the smoke starts to curl up around its legs, curl up around its shoulders. It almost makes it a little harder to see, especially in the darkness of the now destroyed Lab 1. The next thing is this thing with 3 question marks, and I'm not sure what it is.
It's the alien. It's the alien.
It's the other alien?
No, it's the same alien. It's the
the
same as
same
the
one.
11. Yeah. It's doubled.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's going to move. And it's going to...
But wasn't it pinned down?
Oh, wait, it was pinned down. Stays pinned down. All right, here we go. Thank you for that, Lindy. Let's look up pinned down. So it's straight up. It just can't move. It doesn't give specifics. It's like the result. Okay. So, man, does that completely negate its entire action pinned down?
I think it gets a fast action, but not a slow action.
Well, that is what we were doing.
Okay.
Sounds
fair to me.
All right. Trudges toward you. Blood's dripping, scorching the ground. Gets within spitting distance, closer than spitting distance of Blaze. Meanwhile, in Lab 1,
Oh no.
a facehugger pivots and leaps onto the metal tray, onto the metal cart that is serving as the like an autopsy table for this Yautja that was gunned down in the biosphere some hours ago. Inside it hides Dr. Gerald Walls. This thing, right before you shut those doors, this thing pivoted, got a bead on you, and leapt right at you and you manage to twist that metal shut and lock it out. Just as it lands on the cart, takes its fingers and digs them into the grating on the metal, and using its tail as a counterweight, shakes the devil out of the metal doors. But they hold. You see, it's got something on the inside of it that's looking for you, that starts to come through a little bit, the mesh grating. Some sort of disgusting proboscis in the heart in between its fingers. It would very much like to talk to you, but it cannot. All right, so now, seriously, roll 20. What is with these? So the who's next, Lindy? This next 7.
It's the
it?
alien.
In
I
lab
added
one?
in all the extra ones you told me. I can get rid of those if they're not supposed to be there. You said there were
I don't-
multiple
because they're
people that had
not
the same
highlighted.
number.
I think these are the ones.
It's the alien in the room because it rolled 2 7s.
But that's this,
That's this alien because it rolled 2
and it
7s.
gets to go twice because it gets to roll 2 7s.
Yeah.
Brewer,
Yes.
we slam cut from this face hugger shaking the metal, keeping it from landing on the face of Dr. Gerald Walls. You smash cut to Brewer stomping through an empty and smoking floor grating as he emerges from the storage room, which is hardly a room. It's like a giant super garage on the side of a mountain. What do you do, Brewer?
Can I rip one of the doors off? They're like blast doors, right?
They're reinforced doors
Yeah. Yeah, I want to rip one of those off.
with the, far out.
With the power loader, yeah.
With the power loader. Give me a heavy machinery roll there, tough guy.
All right. Heavy machinery.
That's a stunt. Let's check that out. Here we go. You can gain a +1 to a later skill roll
Okay.
relating to this one. So you are going to get a +1 to the next thing you do with this door.
When I throw it at an alien.
Or you don't need to roll to overcome the same challenge in the future. So you can get an automatic success on a heavy machinery roll, or you do it really fast, which would give you another slow action. Or you can destroy it, or you can do it quietly, or you can do it flashy, which that's up to you. What do you want to do?
Actually, I think I'm going to do it fast, so I can also move into Bay 2 behind the others.
Okay. So you're going to move.
Mm-hmm. If I can get in front of the others, I will. Like,
With the full action, I'm going to pull this up. With a slow action, you should be able to make that full move.
all right. Don't worry, I'm here now.
So it literally brings this loader around beside you faster than you think a loader could get there. Somebody knows what they're doing. And this loader stands between you and certain death. Wounded certain death, but come on, still certain death. So uncertain, but mostly certain death. Stands there and faces off against this bleeding creature. Meanwhile, back in Lab 1, Xenomorph drops its shoulders and goes straight for Lasso.
Rip.
Stand by. We got to roll a d6. Nope. 1d6. What did he get? Somebody call it out. 4. He grabs him. It opens its mouth. Inner jaws, another set of teeth emerge from inside its head. I roll 10 base dice. Also does not block or dodge.
No?
I mean, I can roll block.
I can roll block
You
if you want.
can.
I've got his sheet open.
You try. Oh, yeah, he can block.
I think the natural reaction is to block.
He
Yeah.
put his hands up. Put his hands up, terrified, screaming for his mother.
Nope.
Nothing?
Nope.
Push! Push!
Oh,
Wait,
he
can't-
could. Can he push?
He can push.
And he's gonna take a stress level and try to push it. 2 successes.
2. So that we're gonna go decrease damage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever happens, -2 damage. Here we go.
It's better to lose an arm than a brain.
Ow.
So wait, that's the score, right? Right there. Damage 10.
Yup. It just happens. I guess.
Let me finish reading this. So while I read this really quick, I want everyone to know that Lasso is looking this thing.
It's looking real
Yeah,
dead right
thing.
now.
Sweat is pouring down this young man's face. You know, he signed up before he was 18, and he lied about his age. And he was really excited to join the USCM, see other worlds, get out of the town he grew up in, get away from his shithead stepdad. The inner jaw pierces his skull. Red and black matter sprays the wall behind him. His body goes slack. The alien had him by the shoulders. He's pulled him almost like a kiss right to his jaws. And now its second set of jaws are sticking out the back of Lasso's head. And then snap back into the Xeno's head so hard that it almost seems to click backwards with the force of this thing retracting with that much strength right back into its head. Lasso drops his gun and it clacks on the ground. His toes are about 6 inches off the floor, dangling. The facehugger closest to Violet darts beneath the hollow table. You hear it skitter beneath the hollow table. And then you don't see anything. McKeelson,
Yeah, that's me.
what do you do? You're standing right next to this thing that just destroyed this young man.
Yeah, I'm going to. There's nowhere I can really back up to at this point. At least for any mechanical benefit. I'm pretty stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm just gonna try to aim and shoot, because that's all I can do. So here, let's go for it. I'm a push, because, ouch. Three successes with my shotgun. Yeah, I'd like to pump that into damage.
What's your base damage on a shotgun?
3.
So 3, 4, 5.
So yeah,
It's now
4
4.
damage.
Man. Okay. Hold on, I have to roll a d6. Okay. That's a 4. All right, everybody needs to hold on because there's a separate xenomorph damage table. Stand by. If anybody's got the book in front of them and can beat me to this, you are welcome to do it. Because they do certain shit when they... I mean, seriously... This thing literally was right next to you, and you put your shotgun all but up against its temple.
I'm a square away. Thank you. Lasso's corpse is between me and it.
Oh, really?
You said these are like 3 to 5 meter
That's
squares.
True. They are. So it's adjacent is engaged. All right, hold on. Here we go.
Travis, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for the xenomorph damage, critical damage chart. God damn it. I want to get this right. Patience, gentle viewer.
Page 291. 4 is last breath. The xenomorph is mortally wounded and contorts wildly. On its next initiative, it will try to kill the nearest victim, then the beast dies. If it is wounded again, before then, it dies instantly.
Oh. Let's hopefully we can hit it again.
It writhes. Its tail pierces the air and makes those awesome whipping noises like when you flipping the table back of the... Who's next?
Violet.
Your turn, Violet.
Okay. So I saw
We've got a face hugger and a twitching xenomorph.
Yeah. I have Kennedy's radiation gun. I think the biggest threat right now is probably that xenomorph. So I'm gonna shoot it. Okay, how do I don't actually have a gun on my sheet.
You had we talked about how you had a service pistol, but wait, no. But what happened?
I have Kennedy's.
You have Kennedy's super gun.
Yeah, that's what I'm hitting this xenomorph with. Yeah, I just don't have. It's not on my sheet, so I don't know how to roll it.
What's your ranged combat? I can just roll it on Kennedy's.
0.
Okay. What's your agility?
Remind everybody.
My agility is 3.
Okay. So minus.
This is the super pulse rifle with the radioactive bullet.
Ooh. But she doesn't have stress because she's a synth.
So we're gonna. That's a 1. But Violet, we talked about this a little bit.
Yes, we did.
Violet is a very special kind of synthetic. Violet, why don't you tell everybody really quick what specific type of synthetic you are?
Violet is a Nexus 7, which is the same model as Rachel from Blade Runner.
The last wave of Nexus androids created by Dr. Eldon Tyrell before his murder. And all the Nexus models, that's absolutely right. And they had an issue with emotion, which is something the Weyland-Yutani synthetics don't have. Emotion is a very serious issue for the Nexus series and was taken very seriously as something Hank Granger is all too familiar with. And so I think one of the things I want to do, and so we're kind of making this part up as we go along, because I think that one of the things that made Nexus series so dangerous was because they knew how to use it. They knew how to use their anger, and they knew how to use their confusion over the false memories that were implanted in their minds. And it made them too dangerous. And so I think that counts as an extra success in this particular moment. And you lift this gun with deadly accuracy. And I'm going to count that as a hit with 2 stunts. So what do you want to do?
Is it enough to kill this thing?
It is. Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
What does this look like?
So I have this massive gun that just, emits radiation as I put the bullets in it. So I just it's currently holding lasso, right? Has it dropped No, because it's like thrashing around.
It did drop. No, it got hit. It dropped lasso because it got shot with a double-barrel shotgun and is now on its back, writhing and screaming, bleeding all over the floor.
So then I just right in its face, I just aim and pull the trigger and just blow its entire face off.
Okay. So we're determining that is not in engaged range with McKeelson, right? We made that determination.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's also, according to this map, not in engaged range with Private Heston.
Good.
Sorry, Lasso, buddy.
Yeah, it's too late for Lasso. You put a slug in this thing, it screams its last. It is a smoking, disgusting hulk. It's now sinking into the floor. And the smell of corrosive acid eating away at rusty metal fills the room. It's fallen so deep into the floor that its remains are almost level with, because you're all on like a raised catwalk. There's so much cabling and piping beneath the floor of Lab 1. That was awesome. Dr. Gerald Walls.
No, so
Oh, please.
that was just a fast action, right?
Oh, yeah. No, that was your firing was your slow action.
So you still have a
my
fast
slow
action.
Okay, so remind me again, can I step in front of McKeelson? I want to put myself between her and this face hugger that's under this fucking table.
Yes, you can move.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll kind of so McKeelson's in the corner, I'm in front of her, kind of thing. And that's it.
Excellent. Walls. You're hiding in a table. There's a face hugger shaking the gate. What do?
Real quickly, read Zoom chat to make sure that I can do what I'm going to do.
That's insane. You're a madman. Okay. So I need a close range attack, a close combat attack roll.
Okay. Before I talk shit, let's just go ahead and roll that.
Might be wise.
One success and 2 of the hugger things. How bad's that?
Oh my god, double stress dice. Well, you don't have to roll panic twice. You succeed. You hit it. We'll talk about your panic roll here in a second. Just tell everybody what you just did.
Well, Walls would get close as this thing is kind of licking its snout in and out like the lead singer at Jabba's. And as the lips kind of creep inside and out of the grate, he times it. He can see that it's kind of, it's a natural habit. It's a habit that it's forming. It's licking and back in, licking and kind of like resalivating and licking. And he times it, and he waits until just about when it pulls back in, and he pulls out a staple hypo and injects it with a capsule of sodium hydroxide, which doesn't do well with acid. And then he gets to as far back in his table as he can. Yes, Max Rebo's band, Size Noodles.
Size Noodles. Oh, you beat me to it. Damn it. Oh, you're finished. Look at Lindy's like Size Noodles. Size Noodles. Max Rebo band. Okay. So I don't have damage on a. Tell me about Dr. Gerald Wall's familiarity with sodium hydroxide and its potential reaction to. So Dr. Gerald Walls, by the way, has been on a research staff studying these creatures for 7 years. So
7 years.
It says
Seven
he's
years.
a xenoethologist on his official occupation on
just
the overlay.
Tell me specifically how much damage, because I just love this. Tell me what happens to the acid inside these things when come in contact with sodium hydroxide.
Well, when the team here at the zoo were studying the facehuggers, and one of them got a little too feisty, what they would do is whenever it came time to euthanize them, they would just inject them with sodium hydroxide, which when coupled with acid makes things heat up and explode. And so they would do so in a controlled environment because that's what you do when you science. And so with the injection of the capsule, he knows how to take these things out. He's been doing it for 7 years. And as far as how acids and bases react, back in middle school, he remembers that somebody said sodium hydroxide, hydrochloric acid, water in the middle. And when you kind of put the two ends together, awful, awful shit happens. He's counting on the awful shit, Travis.
Sweet. Okay, I gotta make a roll here. It explodes. Okay. But does it? But hold on. But it doesn't explode right away, does it? Does it just pop like a grape?
And
Like it
remember
has to
too,
react.
right? It's reacting, so the acid that would usually go everywhere is turning into heat, and that heat makes it pop. And so, as long as the sodium hydroxide continues to react, there shouldn't be that big of a splash radius. At least that's what 7 years of science has taught him.
This thing
Science.
begins to rattle and shake, and its tail begins to whip and slap, and the doors of this table. That was your slow action. What's your fast action?
Apparently, with 2 panic rolls to shit myself. So,
Right. So forgot about that part. Roll panic for me, please.
yeah, I forget how to do that. Wait a minute.
I gotta get my DM screen.
It's at the upper near your D3 button. Do 3d6, 2d6, 3d6. Panic right above base dice.
Oh, okay. I always look past that box and for some reason. Boop. How's an 8? Is an 8 bad?
You have a tremble. You start to tremble uncontrollably. All skill rolls using agility suffer a -2 modification until your panic stops.
Okay. And do I have to do 2 of these?
No.
No.
Okay. So yeah, as this thing's rattling the outside of the cage in its death throes, the other side of the cart is rattling as well as Gerald Walls.
This is not a controlled environment.
Right. He does manage, though, a very whispered, very hushed, very, the nerd has just been threatened by a jock. The jock is 10 to 20 feet away. A very whispered, fuck you, to the thing as it explodes.
Well, it hasn't exploded yet.
Well, shakes, you know.
It's shaking.
It's going.
If Elvis Presley has taught me anything,
Shake,
the
rattle,
shaking leads to an explosion. I don't know what I'm talking about. Back to you, Travis.
Private Watson, horrified by the murder of this young man.
Mm-hmm.
His eyes look past the slack, crumpled body of this person. This poor, young, bright, flowering man who, like so many, died before his time. He notices something moving under the hollow table. Squints at it. Slowly raises his rifle.
You want me to roll Watson's? attack?
Aims. Yeah, go for it. Aims. Let's push it.
Okay.
Watson, who has no stress.
Holy
Holy
shit.
shit. All right, so that's what? What's the base damage on the
2.
pulse rifle?
7 now?
7. Stand by.
Is there anything left to matter? Okay, 6 damage.
Not that it would have mattered. It's just fun to roll. He leans, he squints, he squeezes the trigger. And the pulse rifle screams right at the facehugger hiding under the hollow table. And it's a beautiful shot. Unfortunately, well, no, damn it, on the screen it's on. No, it's not in. Damn it, I can't acid splash your feet, Lindy. Fuck. All right. It explodes. Violet, McKeelson, you see acid splash across the floor on the far end of the hollow table, and smoke begins to rise around the side. There's that cool thing where the smoke interacts with all the hollow shit moving around. You still got the map of the the surrounding region floating around. It's great. Coleman doesn't have a clear shot because there's a
because it moved.
There's a goddamn forklift standing there.
Power loader, please.
Power loader. Excuse me. Sorry. So here's gonna get a -2 because, and I can actually back that up because that's here on. Yeah. So he's going to dodge the large thing in front of him. So he's going to get a -2 to his shot. Let's see what happens. He fires.
Does he push it?
Bullets spray the. Oh, let's push it.
He doesn't have any stress.
Push it. Oh, Greg's out of the room.
He can still hear you, don't worry.
Okay. Yeah, that's for you, Greg. I'm seriously about to just sing Salt and Pepper instead of run this goddamn game. All right, here we go. Is that twice? Man, Coleman lights up what's right in front of Brewer. He's just shooting. The pulse rifle flare is gorgeous. He hits nothing. He hits the ceiling. He hits the walls. He hits the door frame.
Watch your fire!
Does not make contact with his target. Next is Lasso. His corpse is being eaten by the acid all over the floor. Oh, sorry. Well, Heston didn't get his turn. Damn it. Can I just keep talking about Lasso's corpse?
Sure.
That's not okay?
Yeah.
Keep describing this young dead man dissolving into the metal. Yes. Okay, now Heston is a crazy man.
Mm-hmm.
He is... You hear him breathing. And it's unsettling, to say the least.
He's a better shot at it than Coleman
Wait,
does.
he's gonna aim. He's gonna aim, by the way. So that's one success. We're gonna re-roll that really quick.
What did you roll?
Wait, what did I do?
I don't know. Here, let me do it. Just re-roll. Whoop.
There we go. Okay. Base damage 3, 4, 5. He destroys this thing. It blasts like this, like vertically. The halo perpendicular to the ground of acid splatters in every direction. Brewer, you're standing right in front of this thing.
I block with the door.
Does the power loader have an armor rating?
I probably should know that.
While you look that up, I gotta make a roll.
Let's see.
Oh wait.
Has 3.
And I have to roll a d6. It does not explode. It does not explode. It does not explode. Frank, what page was that on?
291?
291.
291. You looking at it? What's up? 291.
A 1 is rise again. The xenomorph falls to the ground, seemingly dead, but it's a ruse. If it is attacked again or on its next initiative, it regains 1 point of health and rises, fueled by instinctive hatred.
Takes the shot and rolls ass over tea kettle a few feet away from you, Brewer. It does not explode, but it takes the hit. It crumples to the ground.
Nice shooting.
Heston would roll panic, but he only has 1 stress, which we've house ruled that he just gets another stress because it wouldn't make any difference.
Because you can't roll. Yeah.
So, no acid splash is my point. Brewer does not get covered in acid, potentially. Blaze, on the other hand, standing right behind Brewer.
Blaze will. That one's down. They need help in Lab 1, I assume, right? So I think he's gonna go help them, I guess. I think that's what he'd do. So he's gonna attempt to make his way to Lab 1.
Where I think the only thing left is a heating up facehugger. A really hot facehugger that's about to die.
Well, yeah, but I don't think we know that.
Yeah, because it's just been... I haven't had time to click
It's
it
been
in.
chaos for the last 20 seconds.
Uh-huh.
I want to enjoy this moment, too, where Blaze goes around Brewer, his pulse rifle trained on the slumped body of this creature, and his boots move around it and clear Lab 2. And like a highly trained Marine, he lifts it up, turns his shoulders, enters Lab 1 with his smart gun at his hip. You got to do all this stuff and turn and drop it. Vasquez, it's badass. And Blaze sees the devastation.
Is it clear in here?
I think so. It's maybe... Don't know what the fuck that thing's doing.
Yeah, there's something over at that table.
He just kind of looks in shock, like, because I assume it's like expanding right now.
Everybody step back!
He's gonna take cover behind the table.
It's a good plan.
So that's a double move. And he needs to goose step because there's acid all over the floor where he is stepping, but he manages to clear it. Granger.
Yes, sir.
There's a power loader in front of you. And the screaming has stopped. What do you do?
He takes a step over towards the open doorway and is going to take a look outside because shit's raining and rolling downhill, and he just needs to make sure there's nothing else coming. So he takes his scope and starts looking out. Do an observation roll, I guess.
Sure.
One success.
One success. You see the beast twitch, but it does not get up.
Oh, I'm not looking at him. I'm looking outside the door over here.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. Which door? Were you looking?
I'm looking, like, Blaze went inside, so I took a step over to my right and look outside into the landing, the ruined landing area to see if there's anything coming from that direction. 'Cause he has no idea where these things came from, so he's covering that door while everyone else secures the other rooms.
And you said it's with your scope too?
Yeah, I'm using my scope to just scan the perimeter.
See nothing. You see the wind is picking up, and a powdery light rain is starting to fall, and it's dark. And there's nothing out there in the biosphere, what's left of it, and the clearing outside that you can see. It's
Okay.
very quiet.
All right. Well, I'm going to use my investigator talent to make that 6 into a guaranteed answer by the DM. I would say, is there anything hidden here? And if so, where?
There is nothing hidden there.
Okay. Then he just takes a knee and guards the door.
Brewer, you see this thing twitch, and it rises.
Oh, shit, it's still alive!
Go here. And that's... What did it get?
1.
Brewer, this thing looks you right in the eye. It seems to look right inside you. It is entirely squared up with you. It slowly picks itself up off the ground.
Gulp.
Its blood, the acid from the smoke from its blood curls around its armor, and it opens its mouth, and it is dripping. Just dripping. It's just a very, very wet, bloody, angry monster, and it's looking right at you. Roll panic.
All right. We'll do so. 5.
All right. You
Good.
keep it together. You keep it together. This thing's looking at you. You are looking death right in the face, and you kept it together. Meanwhile, in lab 1, you know when you blow up a surgical glove? That's what's happening to this facehugger. It's like somebody's filling it with air, except it's not air. It's its own blood turned into some sort of foreign, hot organic matter. And I'm sure I'm getting that wrong, as was explained earlier. So go ahead, Dr. Walls. What's it full of now?
Listen, I'm not
You're
a
a
real
doctor.
doctor. I mean,
I just
what
play
the-
a xenoethologist. I'm not an
Listen.
actual xenoethologist.
Right.
just play
It
one on TV.
sounded cool. I don't think the science works on it at all. But okay, like retcon that. Travis, what happens here is whenever this injection goes into it, heat is created that will kill it and make everybody completely safe. There. That's from the School of Science I attended. Never.
Well, it goes everywhere.
Chat says steam. I think we have a scientist in.
Oh yeah, believe Quite. Quite knows exactly what's going on. We'll go with steam.
I mean, it pops. Yeah, I love that. It pops like it's full of smoke. Science, baby. Yeah.
I just killed this thing with science, Travis. How you like that? Take that, Free League.
Bet you didn't think we were gonna bring science to tabletop, did you?
Brewer,
Oh. All right.
icy space death is looking you in the eye. What do you do?
I'm not exactly sure how to do this, but what I want to attempt to do is put the door on top of the alien and then step on the door.
Smush it like a boog. Like a space cockroach.
Yeah.
So you're holding the door.
Yes. Boom.
You know, like flatten it like overhand.
Yes. Like overhead, right on top of them,
Like a
and then
cockroach.
step on the door.
Because if
Are
you
you
if you
aiming?
kill a cockroach with a phone book, it's not good enough. You have to step on it afterwards. I understand.
Are you aiming?
Yes, I am aiming.
You get a +5 because you're at engaged range.
Good. So what do I roll exactly?
Close combat,
Close combat. All
and
right.
we'll determine a base damage of a giant metal door of 4.
Okay.
7. 6.
6. Completely crush it. What does this look like?
I'll jump up and down on it a few times in the power loader. And that's probably my turn.
We're out of initiative. And for a moment, things are very, very, very quiet in the zoo. After Brewer stops jumping up and down in a power loader. Let's start right there. Granger, Brewer. Granger, you see Brewer smash this thing. What happens in these moments right after this thing is crushed?
Granger just shakes his head because he's still watching the door. He doesn't care what's going on. He figures that Brewer is just squishing it because he likes to do things like that. He probably didn't even know it stood up. He has no idea what was happening because it's in a hallway around a corner, and he's watching out through the scope into the distance in the darkness out there. So he's probably just thinking that once again, these misfits are just showboating and having fun after they get the job done.
Coleman shoulders his pulse rifle, adjusts his helmet, and says, "I'm going inside," and starts moving through the doors past Brewer. Eston seems to be very entertained by what Brewer is doing. You might almost say transfixed, and does not head inside, but slowly approaches Brewer to get a better look at this crushed being.
As Brewer's gonna like get off the door and slowly lift it up with the power loader, like, what does it look like under there?
This thing has just exploded in a giant puff of steam. And the steam curls over the lifeless body of the Yaocha Ling slack on top of this autopsy table, which currently contains Dr. Gerald Walls,
who explodes out from the bottom of it. What the fuck?
Akilson's definitely got the shotgun, but is like holding on to Violet at the same time.
Yeah, Violet's gonna like turn around and just do a quick over of McKeelson. Are you all right? You're not hurt?
I'm
no
great.
acid
I'm
anywhere?
not hurt. I'm
good.
terribly upset that we lost Lasso.
That was very violent, and I
It was
did not like
incredibly
it.
violent. In my almost 20 years of service, I've never seen a thing like that.
Yeah, I've been alive for a very long time, and I've never seen anything like that. That was
fucking hell. And I just pull out a whiskey flask. A large swig of scotch.
Dr. Walls? Hi.
And I'll
yes.
go in on the mics. Head
Are
go,
you okay?
Is everyone alright?
Yes, I'm fine. All
Good.
clear.
Who else is in the room with us? Heston?
No, not Heston. We've got Watson.
Watson?
Watson has taken a knee and removed his helmet and set his pulse rifle down by the butt on the ground. And with his other elbow resting on his knee, looks up at you. Yes, ma'am.
Are you okay?
Well, he's a good boy. And that ain't right, what happened to him. And we're going to have to do the right thing by him, bury him.
I agree that we should do the right thing by him.
Look at the puddle of
covered in
acid that he's
acid.
dissolving in.
We really don't want to touch him, at least not with our hands.
Definitely throw some dirt on him. I mean, there's not gonna be a lot left after. In my medical opinion, there's not gonna be a lot left after the acids fizzled out.
Yeah. Well, y'all do what you think is right. And he turns and gets a cigarette out of his thing and, mumbling the Lord's Prayer, leaves the room.
And I'll, again on the mics, God damn it, give me a head count. Is everyone alright?
The action is over out here, it seems.
How many of them did you have?
There was 2, right? Yeah. We saw 2 of those taller ones.
Alright, we had one of those and 2 little skittery ones. We lost Loso.
Shit. I'm gonna check around for more of these things.
Buddy system.
There's always going to be more. Always. It's the nature of this place.
I mean, we could always nuke the whole goddamn planet.
We can nuke it from orbit. Sounds like that would fix it.
Yeah, quite. Chat, Travis.
Dr. Gerald Walls, what happens right now?
Well, since I spent a lot of time last episode checking out something, I want to take that something, and I have that something.
Were you holding it before you got in the
Yes.
rating? You were, right? You took it.
Yeah.
We know what you're talking.
Yes, it's
Dr. Gerald.
it's the predator cloaking device that he's been studying, that you asked him to study. He has, and so he's
So, okay. Dr. Gerald Walls disappears.
Can I see him?
Roll an observation check.
Yeah, I mean, we can see.
Okay, so I have observation, and I have my visor, so I get a +2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I have watchful, so I get another +2. No, that's for a sneak attack. Okay, so I just get +2. 5 successes.
It's a lot of sick.
You can see him standing right there.
Just wave back.
Keelson just closes her eyes, pulls out the flask, takes another swig.
I'd turn it back off. Well, that works.
It's definitely going to be useful.
I fear it's hardwired into me now, but
Oh, well, at least, you'll be hard to find.
hard to find against the right eyes.
Fair. So we should probably all regroup. I'm going to grab my data real quick, and I go over to where my thing has been running.
Grab it. We'll check on the med bay, and I'll go make sure nothing terrible happened in there while we were fighting out here.
Violet, let's explore that for just a second. The thing you were running.
Yes.
Explain where we're at in that process and what you're looking to glean.
So I downloaded all of the data and I put it onto a separate hard drive. I essentially backed everything up. And then I was also running the tracking of the signal that I was picking up. So I want to essentially transfer that to my visor so when I leave here, I can follow it. So I have basically everything in my head.
So you were working to establish the signal with where?
I think because we established that what's his name? Leonard?
You identified where Leonard's head was.
Yes, which is in
52 miles
space.
above. Yes.
Yes, and then we also identified Site B.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that was it.
You're picking up a transmission coming from Site B. It is a repeating, coded signal, and it's not coming from any commercially available via company, military, private corporation piece of gear that you have ever been are familiar with.
So it's totally new. I have no idea what it is.
You have never come across this type of signal from whatever type of transmitter it is coming from ever.
Okay.
And you have received it, you have identified it, and I want you to give me a ComTech roll to determine how long it's going to take to decode it.
ComTech, okay. No modifiers, correct?
No.
Okay. 1 success.
I want to look at one thing really quick.
Could I assist with that in any way? If
she
allowed.
tells you,
Yeah.
she tells you what she's doing.
Right.
You see her visor glowing, and you see, and Violet, you're manipulating the your
Yeah, her hands are
type-
probably like going in the air kind of thing. She's probably, her visor's going. She's attempting to decode this, so her hands are manipulating whatever, and it's flashing across her visor. And then she's probably also kind of like, she looks a little confused because it's very rare that she comes across something she hasn't come across. That makes sense. So I don't think she necessarily shares what she's doing just yet, though.
But Wallace, you see that she's doing something. How'd that contact?
1 success.
It's going to take a turn. Good. So it's going to take, I must say it's going to take about 15 minutes.
Okay. I'm going to take a seat real quick if we're not doing anything at the moment. I have work to do.
Sure. Brewer, can you bring in those batteries you got from the thing, the place, the storage room? I'm gonna hook them up to the mid bay.
You're going to make me give them up now? Damn it. I'll
Just grab anything out of there that you can from the storage room. We're not going back in there.
Was there more than one battery?
I remember you saying you grabbed 2.
Yeah, there was a few.
Okay, well then, I'll make my way back into the storage, grab the extra battery with the power loader, and then close the door on my way out.
Well,
Not the door you're
what
standing
door?
on. No, by the way, you slammed a door flat on the ground in the doorway. So I'm going to, and there's a corpse, an alien corpse under it. So I'm going to say that the doors between Bay 2 and Lab 2 will not close.
Was that the door did he grab, or did he grab the door out of storage?
He pulled the door off of also the storage is missing half a door because it is laying flat in the door jamb.
So I maybe tactically wasn't a great idea, but whatever.
It was really cool.
He's going to, he'll drag the batteries back into the lab. He'll leave the power loader in lab 2 actually, and he'll drag the battery into lab 1.
And I think as Brewer's dragging the batteries in, we're gonna take just a brief bio break, get us bio break, and we also have Blaze with us. So when you come back, he'll be here. So See y'all in a minute. we're back. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. We have a shiny pilot back with us, so take it away again, Trav.
Dr. Walls, the device, it's on your arm, right? Actually wearing. So for the folks at home, earlier today, there was daylight. They greased a predator on the the ruined wall of the biosphere. After gathering up its corpse and bringing it inside, Dr. Walls removed the device from its wrist and placed it on his own. You're getting a message. The characters begin to dance and change and shift. I'm going to put what it says into the Twitch chat so that the folks at home can read what you are receiving.
I should be able to hear it.
It is not spoken.
Oh.
It is a series of characters that are the written language of the Yautja that certain members of this facility, not so much Dr. Walls, but as we discussed last time, you took a round to effectively start learning it and start understanding it, and you've seen this before, and you can read it. You know enough to be dangerous. So it's going to start appearing in Twitch chat.
I'm sure that Dr. Walls is not subtle about this at all, as he is basically like one of those obnoxious iWatch users that are checking their steps. He's
Violet, Leonard's head is moving.
Okay.
You see the numbers above the holotable. You know, right now on the holotable is this sprawling, three-dimensional readout of, you know, about 100 kilometers in all directions from this facility. 52 miles above you, you're able to see much further because you are tracking Leonard's head. It is moving, starting to curve, and it's starting to move closer to the planet.
What you doing, Dr. Walls? Checking your steps?
I'm checking my heart rate and make sure I'm not going to die.
Oh, don't worry, I'm a medic. Here, let me check you out. I'll go over to take his vitals.
I'm fine.
McHilson,
Yeah,
Leonard's head is moving towards the planet.
He's dead! No, best medic ever, y'all.
Perhaps I should check him out?
Excuse me, is he... And I've got, like, my hand where Dr. Walt's pulse should be, and I just turn towards Violet. I'm sorry, what? Did they just chuck him out in the orbit or something?
Or they're in a ship that's heading towards the planet?
I really hope it's my suggestion.
So do I. That's
Chuck it out with the rest of the garbage.
way. So we might have more company soon. That's fun.
Alright. Great. Do you think they just want to finish us off?
I mean, that other one tried to kill us.
It did.
So...
It tried pretty
And
hard.
you also saw what they did to the humans before us.
Oh, that's true. You know, I'd almost put that out of my mind, and then you reminded
really?
me of
'Cause
it.
I can't.
I drink a lot.
I know. I'm worried about you. It's okay.
Brewer clatters into the room. So where the hell do you want this thing?
What?
The battery.
Oh, In medical
Oh, of course.
for Kennedy and
He continues
Coles?
dragging the battery into medical.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's be clear. The door from lab 2 to 1 is big enough to accommodate a loader. The door to medical is not.
Mm-mm.
I left the loader in lab 2.
Yeah, he did.
You did? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
So I am actually using strength to pull this battery.
Okay, that was an important point to make. All right. So meanwhile, Granger. So that, by the way, that whole exchange since we came back, about 5 minutes. Okay. T-minus 10 minutes till decoding of the message, Violet. Outside, Hank Granger scans the landscape. Heston, breathing slowly, relaxes, and he starts to make his way through the doors into lab 2.
I'll get on the radio too, and I'll be like, Granger, that head that was in space is floating around this direction. I'm hoping they chucked it, but it's possible they're just coming this way.
All right, I'll be in a second. And Granger will move into the over the door corpse of the alien, and into lab 1. Oh shit! What do you guys have happening here?
There was a big one and 2 little scary ones.
We took care of it though. It was fine. We kind of lost Lasso though.
I'll just gesture to the puddle of goo.
That's not something I'll forget anytime soon.
I really wish you could drink, Violet. It would help out a lot.
I can drink. It just doesn't do anything.
Is there like a synth alcohol we could get you?
That is an excellent question. When we're back in civilized
science, some.
I'm always down for science.
Granger stands next to Blaze. He kind of pats him on the shoulder, and he's like, "Boy, you got a set of balls on you. I couldn't have been that close to that thing." Reminding you that you were standing right in front of an alien before Brewer interposed himself with a loader.
Well, then I'd like to think that Blaze is standing there shaking a little bit with his hand as he raises up a cup of something to drink. He's like, "Yeah, lots of balls." Like clink, 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 clink.
You guys are unorthodox, but you're good.
Appreciate it, but it's all Brewer here. I don't think I'd be here if it weren't for him.
Yeah, I had your back too. But that's fair.
I'll take all the help I can get. I just want to get us off this godforsaken planet.
Agreed. Have we tried to, hey Violet, have you tried to contact the Remington? We've got 2 landers on that. We got my ship and
I'm working on something.
the lander.
Violet very pointedly ignores Granger.
Violet?
Hey Violet, do you think have you made contact with the Remington yet?
Not yet, no. I'm working on it.
She's working on it. I think she's mad at you.
All right. Honesty isn't the best policy here, I guess, but
You want
Who
to
told
kill
you
me?
that?
Violet, I never
I've literally
said
done nothing, and you
never
want to
s-
kill me. I think I'm pretty, justified in my reaction.
I believe you've got the wrong impression. If I wanted to kill you, I would not have told you my occupation.
Mm-hmm. Your job is literally to eliminate my kind.
Retire.
Eliminate. That's murder.
It's
Granger.
retire as
It's
you are a product that is
murder.
given a lifespan,
Oh,
and beyond your
hold on.
lifespan, you become a little eccentric at times.
Violet is my best friend.
Thank
She's great. and everyone's a little eccentric, or they're boring. So, you know.
As I said, when I told you what you were and my suspicions of why, I informed you so that you would better know that you aren't included in those particular types.
Mm-hmm.
But you can take it how you wish. We're all working to get off this planet, and if you just want to ignore me and listen to the alcoholic who is in command,
Thank you.
then we will have a much lower chance of survival.
Oh, what?
No
I
offense,
trust McHilson
Captain
far more than I
McHilson.
trust you, Granger.
Thank you. And I take a swig and I put it back in
Your
my
logic,
pocket.
your logic functions are faulty if that's the case.
Sure.
We've been
He
through
goes
a
back
lot
over to the data.
together. And Dr. Walls, if you keep checking your heart rate, I can just hook you up to a monitor. You keep...
You're all very comfortable with fighting one another and arguing, but instead of pinning medals and getting into pissing contests, they're coming.
Who? Oh! And I look at
Probably
the
people who
thing
have
with the
Leonard.
beep,
Yeah.
boop. Like Leonard's head, I'm sure, is moving closer. The ouchies.
The Yautja.
That's right. That's what they're called.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You said that you have something on your ship that could come down here and save us, perhaps. Extract us?
We've got to make contact first, but aye.
Site B would have the ability to do so. We no longer possess it here.
How do you know they're coming?
This is telling me.
Your heart rate monitor? Did they hack
Yes.
into it? I'm gonna make a
Yes.
comtech roll.
They're also telling me I have an arrhythmia. Jokesters, these space hunters.
Are they
Immediately more
saying
stressed.
anything in particular?
I can't make much of it out except we're coming. That's one of the ones I made sure to learn.
I find it strange that creatures who deal in stealth are
Well, are there
alerting
any-
us to the fact that they're coming.
Are there any other similar characters? If you can't make it out, maybe we could get like a decoder ring going.
Or we
Do
could
you-
all die while we talk about this.
Do you mind if I take a look?
Sure, he holds his arm out.
Can I?
I know
see if I can-
you have all of Leonard's info, so you
I
might
do.
be able to read it.
Dr. Wells, didn't you say that these Yautja are a hunter collective?
Yes, they're honor-bound, I guess. Leonard and Dr. Jeffries were the ones that dealt with them primarily.
Well, then in some subsets of humanity, similarities exist. Are they trying to recover the body for some sort of funeral rites?
Perhaps.
If we offer it up freely, then perhaps they will.
I would suggest then moving it outside, unless you want them to come in. We could entertain. If you have
Oh,
tea.
maybe we should not. I don't think we have enough biscuits to go around.
I say
Can
we
I
strap
read
as
this?
much-
Watson
I say,
Coleman.
I say we strap as much plastic explosive to the corpse of that alien as we can, and when they grab the body, blow them all to hell.
Blaze, how much plastic explosive do we have?
Brewer?
I'll come back into the room, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, I know he was in-
Hold on. Brewer emerges from medical just in time to receive that question. Violet, three things are happening. Leonard's head has picked up speed. You are T-minus 2 minutes away from the decoding of the transmission from Site B, and give me a Comtech roll to see what you make of the characters on the wrist computer.
Do I get any kind
Walls.
of bonus since I have all of?
So Leonard's data is specifically about xenomorphs,
Okay,
and
that's fair.
and not
The
you are
Yautja.
not prepared. You are not
Okay.
prepared.
Okay.
Oh,
That's four successes. Am I prepared?
She reads it all.
I think it still takes you this moment during this exchange between everybody. Your, Walls, you can see Violet's, you can see just past her visor, see her eyes moving very quickly. Violet, you are processing this. You have very little to hold it up against because, we're all familiar with what these 5 characters look like. It's like a digital clock.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to pick up on. But you can make out, based on some of the context, the "we are coming."
Okay.
Whenever.
Explosives.
And that's
I think-
all it says.
Blaze Brewer, I don't think we should worry about the explosives. We're at a significant technological disadvantage against these creatures. They may be able to scan the body when they come in and see there's plastic explosive and just take us out.
They can't even write English.
Oh, you're talking about these fuckers? Yeah, we might need a little
Right.
more.
Coleman, Watson, start dragging it out. We do not want them in here. They can turn invisible.
Are we willing to assume that they're just going to let us go after we return the body of their friend?
We don't know unless Dr.
Look,
Walls cares to.
There's no chance we're going to get our
translate more
drop
of it.
ships down. If we don't have an opportunity, they can take us out. You saw what they did to my drop ship.
Look, I'm all for giving them a chance, but they look the other way. I say we waste them.
If they are warning us that they are coming, I don't think they're coming here for a fight.
I agree with Violet.
If
Could be a threat.
if we let them do what they want, as long as it doesn't endanger us, I think that is our best bet of survival in this moment.
Blaze just shakingly drinks from his cup and looks at
All
him.
I can read is "we are coming," but there's more here, so they're saying other things. I just don't know what yet.
Maybe they're bringing tea and biscuits. I don't know. Maybe they want to do terrible, horrible things to us.
You need to have a window. That's all you need. A window to get to Site B, a window to get your ship down here, a window to leave. If giving them this body that you no longer need gets you your window, who cares?
We don't want anything from this. We have other places to be.
Sigh,
So.
look longingly at this nuclear-powered rocket launcher on the shoulder that we haven't figured out how to detach. Nothing we need off of the body.
Brewer kind of pulls out a brick of C4 and taps it against his helmet and says, "I could stuff the body."
It's probably not best to antagonize them, Brewer. Just save it for later.
No.
So let me know if you're going to do that, because I would just go ahead and start walking through the jungle now.
I don't think we should antagonize them. I think killing one of their people is pretty antagonistic enough already.
I vote that we let McHugson
And-
go out and interact with them as McHugson was the one
No.
who killed this particular Yautja and would be the most
Ouch.
honorable one of our group to make the transaction.
I will
These
talk to them.
creatures, I would like to go with you, Dr. Walls. These creatures hunt the xenomorphs.
Aye.
That is
Maybe
true.
they're not coming for their fallen comrade.
Oh, maybe they're coming down to hunt
They're coming down to hunt,
us
or they're...
because we're killing all the xenomorphs. We're obviously superior to them.
I
I'm
highly
sure they
doubt
know
that.
that
McKelson's got some validity.
I
Shit,
feel
not in this
strongly
moment.
they're an honorable hunter society. I think
wouldn't know
they may
anything
want
about
the
that.
corpse.
I think we should step outside.
Would you like to take a walk, Violet?
I would love to, Dr. Walls. Thank you.
He would offer his arm.
She'll take it.
As you take his arm, you glance, and you know right away that Leonard's head will be here in about 35 minutes. At that
Okay.
moment, the transmission from Site B is decoded.
Okay.
You've got Dr. Walls by the arm.
I do. I guess we head outside.
As soon as we're out of earshot of anybody else, Dr. Walls would pull the communicator up so their arms are linked to show it to Violet and taps towards a symbol and says, "That one means bad blood."
So are they coming for... What's the bad blood?
Up ahead where the two are dragging the body, he just gestures towards the figure that's being drugged. I would assume that one.
Interesting. Okay. So I've been decoding a message from somewhere. And I think I just cracked it.
Yes.
The case has been cracked wide open.
What does this message say?
Do you play it out loud?
Is there a way I can listen to it myself first?
Yes.
I would like to do that first.
Okay. Before we play it, who is carrying the Yautja corpse?
Watson and Coleman, and I'm following behind them.
Heston has moved over to look at Lasso's corpse and start to determine.
His goo.
He's looking at what's left of him. Most of the top of Lasso has been melted away, and you can see his boots sticking out from beneath the smoking hulk of the decomposing acid monster. Violet, Dr. Walls, you see Violet's visor glow opaque purple. And Violet, this is what you hear.
This is an urgent recorded distress call intended for any remaining research staff at RF-292. This is Dr. Iris. I urgently need to reach Dr. Gerald Walls, Leonard, or any remaining staff at the zoo. At some point in the last 2 weeks, an airborne pathogen was released into Site B. Source is apparently some sort of fungal found inside that, if disturbed, release a microscopic pathogen that will eventually destroy the host organism. Birch, Long, and Dr. House are missing. Doctors Hayes, Ward, and Barker are deceased. I have isolated myself, and while I am not in immediate danger at this time, I am requesting immediate extraction. I am nearly out of provisions, and our entrance point into Site B has been compromised. Please advise that anyone attempting to enter Site B must isolate their respiratory system or risk infection by airborne pathogen. Please also advise there are creatures active inside Site B. They must be considered extremely dangerous. They are bipedal, bone white in color, and wildly aggressive. If you are coming here, you had better come armed or not at all. Gerald? Are you okay? If you receive this, and if it's possible to send someone, do it. I have something very, very important to share with you. Once again, this is Dr. Vanessa Iris, attempting to reach RF-292 with an urgent distress call. This SOS will repeat.
Walls turns to Violet. Your name is Iris. When they get here, your name is Iris. Do you understand?
No, not even remotely.
You look just like her.
I will go with this. But I want answers.
Me too.
What's your relationship with my sister?
I know her better than most.
Then you should probably listen to this. And I will... Is there a way I can link it so only he hears it?
Yeah.
Can I my visor? I can take my
how?
visor
I don't know
off.
how.
I can take my visor off. It's not like attached to my face or anything.
Correct.
So I'm gonna like put it on like repeat pause kind of thing, and I'll take my visor off and just offer it out to him. Hit play when you're ready.
He would do so.
You hear it.
Hands it back. You are Iris, and we must get to Site B.
Okay. And I guess we continue walking.
At one point, if they are standing out there alone after the body's been dropped and it's the two of them kind of in a dust-off situation, it's that Bishop moment when he's keying in the codes as the drop ship's coming in. He would look over at Violet. You do not know me at all. We've met mere moments before. I am asking you to trust me.
Can I get like is there like an insight check? Can I get just like a general read of Dr. Walls?
Let's check it out. What is not empathy? Hang on.
Just observation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do observation. Are you attempting to manipulate her, Dr. Walls? No?
No.
It's an observation check.
Okay. I get +2.
I mean, he would genuinely like her to trust him.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. 1 success.
He would genuinely like you to trust him.
Okay. The last person I trusted ended up to be a Blade Runner. So I certainly hope you're better than that. And she'll kind of pat his hand and give him a nod.
I tell you what, perhaps I can make you more comfortable. Let's shake on it.
Okay. She'll offer out her hand.
And he applies an amount of pressure so precisely no human hand could do that.
Kind of clicks and she's like, all right.
Brewer,
Yeah.
you were standing by the door to medical.
Okay.
You just set the batteries down behind you, and you just, if I remember correctly, just tapped C4 against your helmet.
Oh yeah.
It's a smart move. He's an experienced demo expert. I fucking love it. So over your shoulder, the door to medical is still open. McKeelson and Brewer, you guys hear coughing from inside medical.
Oh, someone's awake.
McKilson, yeah. I'll head in there.
Yeah, McKilson, after overseeing to make sure that, it went down as it was supposed to, would go, run into medical.
Can Blaze be going with some of the other Marines to find a container to put the Lasso body in?
Absolutely. Blaze, you see Heston, who has a single tear running down his cracked, aged cheek.
Mm-hmm.
He looks up at you. He goes, I don't know where to start. There's not much of him left.
Come on, let's go get a container. And he'll just get him to work, keep him busy. Let's find a container. Yeah, this one will do. It's a nice one. Let's get it over there, and he'll help him.
It's going to take a turn. It's time to tag him and bag him.
Yep.
Heston and Blaze walk off to find something to put the poor boy in. Granger,
Mm-hmm.
you hear coughing from medical. Where are Violet and Walls right now in relation to everyone else? Are they up in
We're
lab
out-
2?
We're outside.
We're
Like
outside
out-
with the body, like awaiting the drop ship or the arrival of these creatures. Yeah, we're out there at the dust off spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Coleman and Watson.
We would have sent, if they'd listened to me, probably not, but I would suggest they'd go inside because they're armed and you don't want to be a threat around the hunters.
Coleman gives you a hard time over it, but reluctantly waves his partner inside and they walk off. And the two of you stand in the cool of the evening. It's now getting like late, like close to midnight late.
It's a bad time to be out. They mostly come out at night. Mostly.
That's comforting.
Granger, what are you doing?
Well, it looks like everybody's left me in the control room here, lab 1.
I'm back.
I thought you went in to check the coughing.
No, I just oversaw that they put the body out there, and then I.
Oh no,
I'd
but I
come
thought
back
you
in.
went in to check the coughing in the med room.
Oh yeah,
med
yeah,
bay.
the coughing. Sorry, yeah, it's right there though. So.
Okay, well, I
I didn't
figure
close the door behind me because I want to keep.
I
an
just
eye on
figured
you.
there's no one. There's really no one left in lab 1 at this point, right?
Only Heston.
Except for McKeelson, who is standing. Heston and Blaze walked off.
Right.
Oh,
to
Heston
go get a
Blaze,
body
okay,
bag.
Okay.
And McKeelson, you are standing in the open doorway.
Mhm.
Yes?
Yeah.
To medical.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Granger.
Buddy system.
He's concerned about Violet, and he doesn't know Walls, and he's wondering what happened inside the room. Like they had their own encounter. He knows what happened outside in the storage area, but he wants to check around. So he's going to do an observation, a full investigation, just a quick glance to see what's out of place, what looks wrong. Like, can he put together what happened? How did Lasso die? So he's going to do that.
Observation.
Okay. All right.
Well, that's a success. So ask
Okay.
me some questions. What do you want to know?
The question he wants to ask is, are there any details here that are out of place, something that's out of the ordinary inside this room right now?
Out of the ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
I think you register the twisted metal on the doors of the table. You recognize how fast Leonard's head is moving, and that it's moving effectively straight toward the surface and will be there in about 25 minutes. You recognize that Site B, Violet, you're going to have to speak up against the hollow table demonstrating that a signal came from Site B. Would there be a specific reason why you would have concealed that?
I was under the impression that we had the map on the hollow table, but all the information was coming through my visor.
Correct. So, Granger, you see the head, you see, how much information Violet has been able to pull up in a comparatively short period of time from a facility that, as it has, you've sort of been secondhand explained to you, had its data destroyed. And that's the only thing out of the ordinary in the room.
Okay. He's already copied the data of the research when Violet walked away last episode. So he's got that. So he's not worried so much about that information. But he goes and looks at the exploded face hugger, like the little blast zone, and the twisted metal. You be the judge. He's looking at the twisted metal. Would he associate the twisted metal with the face hugger, or would it spark something?
No, it was twisted from the inside, with several, what is it, foot pounds of, you know what I mean?
Okay.
What's the term? This is that physics degree really coming in handy right now.
Pounds per square inch of pressure.
There you go.
PSI. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A face hugger could not have done that from the outside.
Okay.
And then it was twisted back out, and is like hanging on, because it's about, it could fall off if you breathed on it too hard.
All right. Okay, you just look around and then step over beside McKilson. How are they?
How are they? Are they waking up?
Kennedy is sitting up and is throwing up into a small white
Ooh.
plastic bucket.
Yep. Well, Chow's still up. Kennedy looks awake and radioactive as ever, and I'll go over and... I think her hair is too short to hold. Like, you do for someone puking, you hold their hair. Just kind of pat on the back. Just get it all out. A lot of acid.
Hey.
Oh, what'd I miss?
Well, ooh, you missed
Oh,
3 aliens and 2 little skittery buggers attacking. And Losso, unfortunately, got dissolved in acid. Mostly.
Lazo did? Oh man. What happened? What did I fall asleep? What happened to me? I don't remember.
I don't entirely know what happened to you. You were brought up in an elevator by Violet and this Mr. Doctor, questionable doctor. Don't think he's an actual medical doctor. Walls. And, I had a lot of throat damage. Like, acid burns down your throat.
What went down my throat?
I wasn't given details. I just was told, here, fix her. And so I didn't.
That's, last I remember I saw one of those monsters in a tube. And a robot was telling me about them. And, she found out about how I'm radioactive.
She did mention that. How radioactive are you exactly?
Is the room supposed to be spinning around right now? Because I hear, and
No,
is
you
there
should...
a telephone ringing? You have a phone
no,
ringing?
there's no phone in here. Here, lay back.
Oh.
Do you want the whiskey or the morphine?
I'm about to take my pants off. This is bad.
Okay.
Oh man.
I'll just shift. Stand between.
You want I should leave?
Yep, you probably should.
No, you want to stick around for this, old man. This is the show.
I'll be right outside.
Where are you going?
Brewer just shakes his head as he's kind of searching through cabinets for stimulants.
They're in there. Check out the book, because pretty much anything within reason in the book is in here. Blaze.
Page 137.
The drugs are on 137.
The drugs are on page 137. There are 5 of them.
Blaze, you guys go down the hall towards the barracks.
Okay.
Heston is crying. Or sorry, not Heston. Watson. Watson is crying.
Did I grab the wrong guy?
Where are we? I can't see.
Blaze will put a hand on his shoulder, just kind of gently squeeze and say, "It's all good, man. Let it all out. Let it all out."
I saw his ID, like his actual ID. Kept it on me next to a picture of his mother.
Yeah.
Oh. You guys find a bag.
He was a good man. It's a good Marine. We find a bag.
Find a bag. You guys head back with it.
Because that's about all that's left.
T-minus 15 minutes to landing.
Try to do another medicine check on Kennedy.
There you go. Brewer, what'd you find?
Yes, I'm gonna pop a never sleep pill and say you may want to start passing these out, and toss them over to McKilson.
I probably... Bloody hell, I was hoping we get at least a night's rest here.
Doesn't seem like it's gonna be that way.
Oh, these are only good for so long.
Hey, McKeelson.
I...
One of the Marines hide in this little cart thing over here?
The one against the wall next to the little steamy bugger.
Yeah. How the hell did that thing... Did it explode?
Yeah, Dr. Walls was in there. I think he injected it with something and it just... Like a steamer full of pork buns just...
That's an image I did not need. Are you sure it was the doctor?
Yes, it was the doctor because he was hiding in there. He heard aliens and he fucked off.
All right, just asking. I wasn't in here when all this happened, so I
Can't say I blame him, but still.
That's fair. That's fair. All right.
I got 2 successes on my medical.
Yeah, I was trying to find I got caught up. I was trying to find the stunts on it's medical aid.
I think that's what it is. Let me double check. Yeah, medical aid.
71. Stand by. Because we're going to find out how cool you are. Recovery persistence job 0 is broken. That's not the case. Oh, okay. All right. You stabilize Kennedy. She's been hit by a very powerful neurotoxin.
Yep.
She's in the throes of exactly the sort of illness that comes from very extended hypersleep. Her nervous system almost shut down. But she didn't die.
I get a stunt with that?
Yeah, it either keeps people from dying in 2 different ways.
Okay.
A person whose health is dropped to 0 is broken. If you apply medical aid skills and you roll disease, they get back on their feet and merely recover a number of health points equal to the number of dice you rolled. So she also gets back 2 points of health.
Oh, nice. That's good for her.
That is good. Meanwhile, outside, Walls gets a message on his wrist.
So, who killed this one? Like, final blow?
That would be McKeelson.
Great.
You're welcome.
If it counts, I think she'll listen to me if we need her for anything.
You have her come out, but stand by the door.
All right.
Not with us. Out of earshot.
I'm gonna click on my radio. McKeelson.
We
need you outside. Just you. Can you come stand by the door, please?
Do you need help with Walls? Like,
no.
I whisper through the call.
No, Walls is fine.
Alright. I just finished catching up Kennedy a bit more.
Oh, is she okay?
Aside from the neurotoxin and the radiation, I think she'll be great.
You should probably scan her for foreign bodies inside.
Right.
Just in case.
Do that when I get back. Do you need me to bring anything? The C4 brick that Brewer has, sir?
No, don't bring any weapons. Just whatever you have on you. Just
okay.
Just leave it holstered. You should probably have the medical table run a scan on her.
Alright, sure.
while you're gone.
Cool. Yeah, I'll be there in a sec. And I'll hit the auto dock to run a scan. And just tell Kennedy to sit tight, I'll be back in a few. And then I'm gonna tell Granger, like, if Violet needs me out there, I'll be back in a minute. If not, I'll scream real loud.
You might need to know something. I have my concerns about the doctor.
He's not a real doctor, is he? I knew it. Knows nothing about medicine.
We trust Violet.
Oh, implicitly.
But if you knew that there was another synthetic running around hiding, would you trust that one as well?
Well, it depends on how trustworthy they were. Is there something you'd like to tell me, Granger?
He'll take her over to the little cart, and he'll point at the metal there, and he's like, "You and I can't make that mess there on the metal, but Violet could twist it like it's butter."
She could, couldn't she? Like,
I'm not saying it's a concern, but everything in my being says it's a concern.
alright, well, we'll just keep an eye on the fake doctor. See if anything turns up, because, you know, it's since they're just like people. They could be bad or they could be alright.
That is very true. They could have good programming, or they could have very, very, very bad programming.
Just keep an eye on it. I've got to be. Again, listen for me screaming terribly.
Be careful.
And
I've
I'll
got
just-
eyes on outside.
I'll leave my comm on to Granger, and I'll go out there. And I don't have my shotgun out, but it's real close at hand. And I'll stand in the doorway, like
While
Violet told me to.
McHilson's making her way towards us, can I make a scan to see if they're near?
I mean, observation check.
Two, 3 successes.
Oh yeah, it's cloaked and it's coming in hot. It'll be about 5 minutes away. It's broken the upper atmosphere, above the cloud layer there, and it's coming straight for you.
Okay, I pointed out to Dr. Walls, even though there's nothing there. It's there and close. 5 minutes?
Seems that way. So what do you do for fun when you're not listening to everyone else?
You know, I don't know. Up until recently, I had no idea who or what I was, so.
Well, then, welcome.
Thank you. I like playing poker. I'm very good at it. McKeelson doesn't let me play anymore. Because I take all her money.
Oh, you wouldn't take mine.
We'll see.
Ranger, you have a minute to yourself. In that, the Marines are starting to make their way back into the room. Coleman, Watson, Heston, and Blaze begin to circle up around their dead comrade. What are you doing?
As they're starting to circle up and focus on Lasso, the poor young boy, he takes out a little, it looks like a little disc out of his pocket. It's just gray, nondescript, but it's got a little button on the top. He presses it and it kind of starts to hum, and he lets it go. And it starts to float on its own. Pulls out a little controller and sends this little personal recon drone out through the door and up into the broken remains of the dome, where it has a bird's eye view of all the transaction about to go through. And he just starts watching.
You've got an earpiece and what, like, you got like a badass watch. How are you watching? What gear affects your view of that?
I'm thinking he's got like a little phone control, it's got a little 4-inch screen, and it's recording, and he can just control it and watch it around and pan and zoom. He's got a little earpiece in that it's basic Bluetooth into the thing he's already got. It's not Bluetooth, but you know what I mean. So he's got the channel.
Bluetooth.
Space Bluetooth. He's connected to McKeelson and can hear her breathing through the channel.
Mm-hmm.
And then but it's also connected into
occasional
this.
sips of whiskey. You just hear the flask tip up.
Right. And so he's got connection with that, connection with the sound of what's happening outside, and a bird's eye view of it.
Violet, give me an observation check.
Five successes.
Okay. You're picking up a signal from over your shoulder. Frank, where do you have this positioned? How high up?
It's actually because he's not sure what the size of the ship is or how far out they're going to land. So he's got it above and behind, sort of like up in some of the destroyed rafters of this dome. So it's sort of just like hovering just over a rafter where he could tilt down and see below, or tilt forward and watch what's coming out. So I guess it's 50 feet up, 20 feet back from where Violet's at, approximately.
Violet like visibly turns around and looks at it and just waves. We have eyes, apparently.
Yes, I know. 15 feet back. I'm
Of
using my
course
observation
you have
talent.
eyes. Right in your bloody skull.
I'm using breakthrough. I automatically pass an observation. So as soon as it came in, he knew it was there.
Nice.
Let's move McKeelson. Oh, no, she made it. Okay. Okay. Marines, Blaze. Coleman looks at you and nods his head. What do you do?
Let's see. Have they put his remains into the bag yet or no?
No, the acid, you're going to have to determine whether or not the acid will hurt you. By now, it has stopped smoking and everything has hardened. And as you look closely, parts of Lasso's corpse have fused with the alien corpse and the metal. And it is going to take some doing to identify what parts of Lasso can be recovered and to get him into the bag.
Well, then whatever doing needs doing, and I guess Blaze will reach over and grab a knife off one of the other Marines and just start hacking away from the alien pieces, Lasso's pieces from him. He's not taking that alien corpse with him to his final resting. Only Lasso's remains are going in that bag.
Watson turns his shoulder flashlight on so that you can get a better view and weeps quietly. Heston stops salivating the way that he usually does under normal circumstances, like a pit bull, and withdraws a knife as long as your shin bone and helps you. Coleman removes his helmet and starts to look around and tries to identify. You can tell he's looking for Lasso's dog tags or what's left of any part of what's left of his upper half. And I think Coleman also like grabs hold of what's left of the Xeno's ribs, which are like flush with the floor. So, you know, all four of you just start to reach, or three of you start to reach into this thing while Watson gently weeps. The ship screams down. The pressure from its propulsion blasts the earth, blasts the landscape. It's not the earth, the dirt, right? The wind kicks up. Walls, Violet, Keelson. Your clothes flap. You do the thing with the, you got the wind and the dirt. It's kicking around, flecking you. And it comes to a gentle rest and decloaks, revealing a long tubular spacecraft.
Tubular, sorry.
It's not a tubular spacecraft,
Sorry.
Michelangelo. It's sleek. Look at the picture of these things. Predator, Yautja ships are badass. They're all like smooth and like long. They have these really fearsome like fronts on them. It's just sort of a ferocious looking craft. And a ramp opens and slowly lowers. Violet, McKeelson, you see a shimmer of 3 figures walking out. And Violet, you see them immediately.
Question if I've had a bit too much, and then I go, nah. Nah.
Lindy, can we look at some handouts?
Yes. Give me just a... Oh, yes, we can. It's gonna look real messy on the overlay for a sec.
Okay. I'm definitely doing this for the benefit of the players. I would say for the folks at home, Google Laser Shot Predator, Ghost Predator, and Xeno Hunter Predator. One of them, they're average between 8 and 9 feet tall. The tallest is the one in the middle with a mask that looks like it was formed out of the shell of a xenomorph skull. It is covered in trophies. To its left is an ashen gray and white Yautja, the massive cannon on its shoulder, long dreads. The one to the right, it has purplish pearlescent skin, this bright gold armor, and an even larger cannon on its shoulder, if that's conceivable. It also has this huge badass thing on its right eye. It's like this right thing, and it keeps like twitching and glinting. It has like a ruby quartz sort of opaque glow to it. Badass. They slowly approach you. Their footsteps are loud. And the 3 of them stand shoulder to shoulder and stare the 3 of you down in the dark.
Walls would salute. Not. He would take his fist, palm towards his heart, press it in, and then release it straight down.
What does that look like?
Palm to the heart, and then he just releases his hand straight down.
Yeah.
Tried to emulate, because he seems to be the expert here.
That's how he's always welcomed them before.
Violet will imitate it, I guess.
The one in the middle reaches up with its left arm and opens the cover of his wrist computer and begins to type slowly onto the interface. Whilst your wrist gauntlet begins to shudder. I'm not going to bother typing it in where is the bad blood?
He presents the corpse.
They like turn. Stop it, YouTube. Dick. The cops are here.
Oh, shit!
There's going to be trouble.
Yes, I now want to see a Predator fight RoboCop. Let's do this.
Who killed the bad blood?
He begrudgingly indicates McKeelson.
The one in the middle with the Xeno mask nods his head, tilts his chin towards the bad blood, and the other 2 Yautja slink off to recover the corpse nearby. The beast steps towards you, McKeelson. Looks you over.
Stand up to my my full 5'5" self.
Reaches behind him and collects something off of his waist.
McKeelson wishes they'd gone to the bathroom before stepping outside, but
It hands you a disc in a casing. It's about 16 inches in diameter. It's heavy. It has 5 fingerlet holes around the inside of it. There's some sort of a latch around the outside. You can see tiny hairs almost on the inside of the finger holes. those of you, the folks at home, Greg seems to think it's the Beatles' White Album.
Might not be right. I don't know.
McKeelson, he looks at the disc and it tilts its chin towards you and extends its hand towards you with the disc in its casing.
I glance at Violet,
she nods, yeah, take it.
Take it.
The two Yautja have collected the bad blood and are walking toward the ship. Do you react? Do you do anything else, McKeelson?
I think McKeelson is trying their best just not to shit themselves. And so takes the disc, makes a bit of a show of looking at it, genuinely kind of looking at it, but genuinely look interested, look honored, and then maybe give a thank you nod. They're not really sure what to do here.
Then it looks past you and its eyes flash. And it steps around you and begins to walk towards the inside of Bay 2. Clicks softly to itself as it steps through the mud and the dirt. And Granger, you watch this creature.
And you hear McKeelson hyperventilating just a little bit in your ear.
Violet, Walls, Granger, you watch this 9-foot-tall Yautja leader clear this breezeway between Bay 2 and what's left of the biosphere and approach the corpse of the xenomorph that fell from the ceiling. It takes a knee to study it. The other two Yautja emerge from the ship, and the purple one's eyes flash, and they all begin to move toward you and toward their leader.
I step out of their way. I don't want to impose. They seem pretty intent. And I also keep the disc, level exactly how they handed it to me, because it could be explosives. I don't know. They could be oh yeah, you're the one who killed him? Have a bomb! McKeelson has no idea what this thing is, so...
Violet's gonna just very quietly, over the radio, be like, we have incoming. Do not engage. Everything's fine.
Oh, she said...
Marines. Blaze.
Maybe just close the door to Lab 1. If it's not already.
You hear this, Blaze.
Okay. I'm kind of torn because I'd like to think that the Marines would probably want to be present to see these things alive and what their intentions are. But at the same time, if commanded to shut the door and hunker down, I guess they'd probably do it real quick. So yeah, we'll shut the door and load weapons, make sure they're ready in case they try to do anything. But that's about it.
Ranger, you see the leader turn and look to the right, and you notice that all three of these creatures are moving their heads around slowly and deliberately. Walls, Violet, McKeelson, you notice the leader stand from its crouched position, turn 90 degrees to the right, and start to move toward the door to Lab 2.
Kind of take a few steps over to Violet, lean in real close and whisper, "What the fuck are they doing?
I don't know. Dr. Walls?
Whatever they want.
Alright,
Fair.
alright. Just let them do whatever the fuck they want, unless they start killing people and then kill them the fuck back. But don't shoot first.
Blaze would come back for a radio. What the fuck, are they coming in here?
They're looking around like they're buying the real estate or something.
They're checking out the xenomorphs. Just let them.
Maybe trying to see how powerful we are at fighting.
Man,
Go,
those
if they killed
fucking
this
things
one.
in here, there's no way.
They're weighing you.
About 120 weight?
No, they're
No.
judging you.
Right. Sorry.
You killed one of them. You killed a bunch of the xenomorphs. They are weighing you.
Fuck.
So just be calm.
Like, cool. I take another deep swig of scotch.
You hear a crunch behind you as the door to the ramp to the ship closes and the ship goes cloaked. Granger, you watch the leader, and behind him his two subordinates enter Lab 2. They take a moment to acknowledge the acid damage and to look closely at the giant piece of flat metal laying in the door jamb. They observe carefully all the floor and ceiling leading into what now is clear was a secret panel and door revealing the an elevator shaft on the east wall of Lab 2. The ashen ghost-like one steps forward and breaches the door to the elevator and looks down. The leader stays behind, but the purple one moves forward and breaches the wall, the door to Lab 1.
Oh, fuck.
When you say breach,
You mean just open?
He just steps. He steps through it.
What do you mean steps through it?
He's just
phases through it.
No, he doesn't phase through it. Is it closed? Did someone close the door?
Shut it. Yes.
Okay, he opens it.
Okay.
Blaze lets out a fuck, and he back, and he tells everybody to back away, and it's kind of like a Marine backup with guns are kind of up, but they're not pointed at it; they're just up and at the low ready. And he wants everybody to back away from
Guns
it.
down, Marines. Don't.
Again, do
Don't
not
point.
engage. Weapons down.
Blaze, it'd be at low ready. It's not pointed, but it's low ready. He's not dropping that low ready. Hell no. He'd be sweating and wiggling his fingers on the grill.
It very slowly, from right to left, starting with you, Granger, observes the room. Watson stops crying.
I would hope so.
Or
Coleman.
just starts sobbing. It could really go either way at this point.
Coleman starts sweating. Heston starts to breathe very loudly and take a step back toward the wall. From Medbay, Brewer, what are you doing?
I am slowly loading my magnum as I intently watch the scan.
You hear a voice from over your left shoulder scream, "What the hell is that?"
Oh, Kennedy.
Kennedy, do not engage. I'm assuming that came through the comm channel.
Kennedy is not wearing a radio.
Okay.
Kennedy stands up.
Brewer, tell Kennedy to calm the fuck down.
Back on the table, Kennedy. You haven't finished your scan.
Where's my gun? Someone's got my gun. Where the fuck is my gun? The big one.
I believe Violet has it. Don't worry.
The purple one? That's the purple one. I'm fucking. So Kennedy's having a. I'll give Kennedy like. Kennedy, who previously to this was ice cold. It's almost like she's had a life-threatening neurotoxin nearly kill her.
Mm-hmm. Kilson empathizes
I'm gonna make her
with
roll
Kennedy's
panic.
reaction.
I'm gonna make her roll panic.
Want me to do it? You got it. Oh no.
Fuck yeah.
Freeze.
She freezes.
You're frozen by fear for
she
one
goes-
round.
She screams bloody murder, points and yells, and then basically Brewer, while you're standing next to her, goes catatonic, staring at this thing.
You haven't finished your scan, Kennedy. And I'm going to try to, like, move her back to the table.
Thanks, Brewer.
This creature scans the room, looks over its right shoulder one more time at you, Granger. Turns, leaves the room. McKeelson, Walls, Violet, what are you doing? You can no longer see these creatures unless you were following them.
Kilson is sweating a lot. The alcohol sweats. And just holding the disc, like with one hand, just radio checking in as necessary with the other. And just looking between where the ship was, where they were headed, just back and forth, like monitoring the scenario, but trying not to instigate anything. Trying to appear calm as possible. Whilst probably reeking a bit of whiskey with these whiskey sweats.
Walls, are you guys headed back into the base, or are you standing outside in the dark?
I think it's safer out here.
Granger, you've got the best view at this point. All three of them converge in Lab 2. They seem to nod at one another. The leader opens up his computer. Walls, you get a message. Now we hunt. The three of them step into the elevator. The one on the right's cannon twitches. The one on the left withdraws a knife that's as long as its entire arm. The one in the middle pulls out a spear, and it extends to about 7 feet via some sort of pneumatic mechanism inside it. They look at the elevator control panel and push a button with a large finger, and all three of them slowly descend down the shaft. Blaze. The creature left the room. The Marines look at you. By your best bet, that's all of Lasso you're going to be able to recover. Coleman thinks he might have found what's left of his dog tags and shows them to you. They're mostly melted.
He looks to Coleman and he grabs the tags, looks at them himself, and just hands it back to him and says, "Hold on to those. You're going to deliver them."
Where do we want to put him?
By this point, the dropship's come in, yeah?
No.
Or our dropship's coming in, yeah?
The last we talked about that, Violet, if I remember correctly, spoke about having to remote pilot it down from the Remington, which that conversation got derailed by 2 xenomorphs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now, help is not on the way.
Well, let's see. Have we put him inside the bag or not yet?
Yes. What's left of him is in the bag. Heston is zipping it up.
Okay. I'm just trying to get a mental idea of where we're at in time and space. So they just came in. Do we have an estimated time of when the ship would be coming in? Does he have an estimated time? I know you said the whole thing was derailed, but would it be a day or two, I guess is what I'm saying.
Coleman shrugs his shoulders. Talk to the skin job. I don't know.
Let's bag him up. Let's bag him up and stick him in medical for now. We'll get him when it's time to get off this damn planet.
You want to take what's left of him home, or you don't want to put him in the ground? Take the tags home?
He's coming home. He's coming home. We ain't leaving him on this damn planet.
Fair enough. He nods at Heston, grabs the other end of the bag, and they walk into medical.
Blaze will come over the comms to Mikkelsen and say, "You're captain or lieutenant? I can't remember."
Captain.
Captain. Okay. Captain. Fucking creatures are gone.
I've been watching the Did they turn invisible?
No, they're gone from our room. Are they? Did they make it out there?
Well, they haven't left yet.
I'm sorry, what?
They haven't left yet, and I just squint and look at the doorway real hard, as if maybe that'll help me see the shimmer.
I was gonna say, none of us saw them go down the elevator shaft, did we? Because it's out in the other area, right? It's out.
Yeah,
in
None of the Marines. Well, yeah, none of the Marines.
Shit. Okay. He'll just report back then that the aliens have left the room, and he'll go forward and try and see where they went. Very slowly.
Okay.
Would Granger have heard that over comms?
Yeah. It's not close.
He probably would have heard me talking because I'm in the same
And
room.
you're in the room with him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I was just hearing McKilson talk back. I'm like, Captain, they're, God, I can't believe I called you that. They went downstairs.
Well, fuck. Alright, I'm coming back in.
There are multiple facehuggers and chest bursters down there, so...
Can we disable the elevator from up here? Can we just cut the wire, trap them down there?
had.
You have a window right
Alright,
now.
yeah, Violet, get that bloody dropship down here as fast as you can.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can contact the Remington.
I'll try to help. Kennedy, you stay on that scanning bed.
Walls would take this moment to look over at Violet. There is communications equipment at Site B.
Okay.
Now, Violet, you say okay, and I really want to put a pin in this for a moment because your extremely advanced, experimental, 150-plus-year-old brain is overclocking with all the options to how to get back and save your sister. Before the xenomorphs fell through the ceiling, my recollection was that the moment you were in was that some transmitter was going to have to be repaired. Violet, with the events of the last hour, something has rolled over into your head. You are the transmitter.
Okay.
So when it comes to remote piloting the Remington, your mind is giving you options.
Okay. So I can remote pilot the Remington. Can I do... The last time we were on the Remington, there was something on there with us, right? But they did a sweep and they cleaned everything.
We've been on the Remington for a bit.
Yeah. Can I just do like a quick sweep of it through its sensors to see if it's still clean?
Oh, if anyone's like entered or exited.
Yeah.
Like, ports have been opened.
Give me a contact check.
One success.
It has not been breached. It has not been accessed. It is in the same shape that you left it in.
Okay. Then I would like to plot a course for it to reach us and then give us a dropship, essentially. Can I do that while doing something else? Can I run that in like the background kind of thing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to do that. I'm going to have the Remington make its way towards us with the dropship. And then I'm going to turn to Dr. Walls. Is there anything you would like to say?
Thank you.
No, not to me.
To
Iris.
I would prefer to tell her in person.
We could let her know we're coming.
She knows. He contacted Site B in the last episode.
That's right. I do remember that. Okay. But I don't think Violet knows that.
And Walls, you don't have confirmation one way or the other that your message was received.
Right. Well, he heard that there was somebody on the other end. He said that
There's breathing.
it was heavy breathing or something.
And then they hung up.
Shit, and they hung up. Yeah.
Okay. Copy that.
Someone heard it. We don't know who
Someone
or if
heard
they're
it.
still alive.
And
Somebody
to
heard it.
exactly. And to that, the message that Violet received was a repeating recording. So the last you heard was someone breathing and hung up.
It's great. It's always a great sign, Travis. I don't know. It's universally across the
Yeah, I'm
galaxy.
sure she's fine.
Good things
Sure,
happen
she's-
after that. Yeah.
Violet, the Remington is 2.5 hours away.
Okay.
One of the things that you would not be remiss whether we discussed was this vehicle that right now on the Remington, lights are turning on, things are swirling, automated systems are starting up, engines are moving and firing, and in the loading dock, what do you put in this dropship? We need to get we need to get a little specific about what we're bringing down within reason.
Okay, so I know that Vanessa said that we needed to come heavily armed. I know that she was also talking about using respirators and not breathing the air in Site B. So we need that. We'll probably need medical supplies because we're going into an area with more xenomorphs. God, I don't know what else.
I think the problem. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, do we have cutting torches to get in?
Probably.
The problem is the Remington cannot enter the airspace and it cannot land because it's a massive frigate.
Right.
And in order to gather up there is no proxy, there is no synthetic left on the Remington to actually gather up small supplies.
Okay.
Best you'll be able to do by remote is load the vehicle into the dropship and remote pilot the dropship safely down to the planet. You would have to go back up and collect this material and bring it back down to the surface.
That makes sense. Because I'm the Remington synthetic, so if I'm not there, we can't do it. Okay. So then, yeah, I'll do that. I will load up the vehicle and have the dropship make its way to us.
Brewer, what are you doing?
The whole time, just intently watching this scan.
Scan of what?
The scan of Kennedy on the auto dock.
Kennedy is radioactive. Not dangerously so, but she has a mild rad count. She's been dosed with a powerful neurotoxin and is still under its effects, and has a semi-irregular heartbeat, but it looks like she's going to make it. Chow is resting comfortably nearby.
No foreign growths or anything like that?
No.
Brewer puts away his pistol.
Granger, as you watch the other two Marines move what's left of the boy into the other room, it's just you and Blaze now. And Coleman, who's smoking.
Go over to Coleman. Can I bum one of those off of you?
Yeah, you bet you can. Here you go.
He pulls out an antique Zippo. He flicks it. Lights a cigarette.
Oh, I used to have one of those.
Love this whole thing. It's my good luck charm.
May I see it? Can I take a look at that?
Absolutely. Here you go.
Let me see if I can still do this. This is that thing where you pinch it just right, flick the cap open, and light it in one move. Whips it shut. Hands it back to you. I still got it.
It's pretty neat. I never really care to do that. Just lights the smoke every once in a while. Cigar when I get a good job done.
Are we going to die here?
Probably.
That's what I figured.
They didn't send us here to survive.
What?
Your commanders did not send you here to survive.
They sent us here to collect a thing. You mean they didn't send us here to survive? What the fuck does that mean?
Your
You know
commanders,
something?
Yes, I spoke to your commander, the guy that's up there on the Edmund Fitzgerald right now.
We were told to collect a specimen and bring it back.
Mm-hmm. Do you understand about being expendable resources?
Burkhalter said we're expendable to you?
Just look him straight in the eye.
He looks at Blaze.
Blaze is getting a little more anger on his face in agreement and frustration with the fact that if this guy did say that out loud, that, you know, fuck these people, they're expendable, boy, they're going to have words.
No.
Granger, did he say that to your face?
Before he sent me back down here. I got the feeling that I was as expendable as the rest of you.
Well, that's just great. That's just fucking great, man. So what are we supposed to do? Stand here and get chopped up?
Look, we got the Remington, a dropship, and my shuttle. If we can survive long enough, we can get out of here, but Violet doesn't seem to want to help get things going. Try to get her to get the Remington to start moving. She didn't want to talk because she's mad at me.
She's mad at you?
Differing of opinions on job performances and requirements of performing duties. It's just something between colleagues.
Blaze, you're with me. And he turns and bumps your shoulder, Granger, as he walks through the doors to Lab 2.
All right, Blaze will follow.
I'm probably coming through Lab 2 at that point with this weird disc thing that I have no idea what it is.
Coleman stomps through the north doors through Lab 2. He steps out, looking around, takes a hard left turn through the breezeway out into the grass. And as he's walking up, he throws his cigarette down on the ground. We're fucking leaving. We are fucking leaving. Captain, we are taking that dead boy. We are getting on that ship, and we are going home. You tell me why not.
Of course we're fucking going home. But we just have to get home without being blasted out of the bloody sky by the fucking Fitzgerald. I've got the brains here. Don't worry. We're gonna get out of this.
Granger says Burkhalter told him that everyone down here is expendable.
Yeah.
To his face.
Aye. He's a prick.
Were you given these orders?
I was not given these orders. I just inferred them and then had them confirmed by Granger. Because you know, myself, Violet, Blaze, and Brewer, we've been to this planet before. We knew it was a death sentence coming back, but it was this or being fucking court-martialed. Now, I'm trying to get us off of here so we can go dark when we get out. Fuck the Marines. I want to live. And I'm only 2 months away from retirement. So you don't have to tell me.
Walls, your wrist rumbles. And there's a message. We forgot the head. The ship decloaks. And the ramp opens.
Just take that ship and go. Okay.
I believe Violet and I are the only ones out there, right?
Yeah.
I'm like right here because what's his face is stomping out, so I'm kind of in between.
Are more coming out? Why is it open?
We're to go in and get the head. Leonard's head.
Oh. I wouldn't mind looking inside.
It's as interesting as they are. Come on. And he'll
Gladly.
walk up the ramp.
She'll follow.
It's smoky in here. You see skulls on the walls. There's pillars with engravings and markings. And in the middle of the room, on a small table, is a head on its side, looking blankly right at you. It's Leonard.
There's Leonard. Shall we?
I suppose.
You do trust me, don't you?
For now, yes.
It's been a while.
And with that, you got one more? With that, as you lift up Leonard's head, we will end tonight's performance. That was fucking sweet. And I couldn't have asked for anything more. And thank you guys. And I really want to, before we hand it over to Lindy, I really want to thank everybody watching for checking this out. I saw somebody say that they binge watched this to catch up. I think that's fucking rad. I walk around thinking about this shit all the time. And it just really means a lot that everybody's as fired up and enjoying it, seems as I am. I really want to thank you guys for playing tonight. And we'll see you guys in a few weeks. Thank you.
Awesome. Let's just go around. Let's say who we are, where we can find you, what you guys are up to, and what your favorite moments from tonight's game were. Well, I'm going to start with our wonderful GM for the evening.
So I got bronchitis and laryngitis.
You
this week.
did.
Kicked in around Monday night live on Lindy's channel. So if you want to watch me get very sick very quickly, watch Mondays in Exandria from this past Monday. After fevers and chills, about yesterday afternoon, I started getting really fired up. Every scene of this was really something really cinematic and something really awesome. I've got a bone up on this system, and I appreciate everybody really. I thought the combat went really well, beat by beat, and we played the goddamn game. We're going to try and finesse some of this a little bit as we continue to play this game and learn it. But hands down, my favorite part, and I want to say what's up to our mystery guest. Who was that mystery voice? Who is Dr. Vanessa Iris? We have a mystery guest waiting in the wings, and I will not name her, but I want to thank her sincerely and tell her that I cannot wait for these guys to get to Site B. And that was my favorite tonight, was the look on everybody's face, because I thought that was really chilling, actually. And also, rest in peace, Lasso. He was a good guy. And you guys are great. Thank you. I'm producer Trev. I produce WebDM. You should watch it. And we're going to play D&D on Monday. Lindy, thank you for this. Thank you for the opportunity to do this. I appreciate you.
Thank you for being our ridiculously enthusiastic GM for all of this. This is a super fun campaign, and I always love it when the GM is just as excited, if not more so, than the players. It means good shit is about to happen. Speaking of good shit happening, we've got Brewer, who fucking squashed an alien with a bug, with a fly swatter, but instead it was a door. How are you? That was epic.
Well, that was definitely one of my favorite parts, but it's really hard to just find a point just from the beginning when we were going through like the paused motions of everyone or something. I don't know. I had it in my head and it was beautiful. And just everything from there. It's hard for me to find a particular point, but I did love crushing that alien with the door. I'm D20 Coup de Grace. You can find me playing on Mondays and Tuesdays on this channel, and I hope I know we're playing this again soon, so I can't wait.
Yes. Can't wait indeed. Oh my gosh, just too many awesome things. Speaking of awesome things, Violet, I'm trying to give you a better segue.
Yeah, I was about to say, that segue is so much better than the one at the beginning.
They're not my forte.
That's my new favorite part. That was my favorite part. I want to take it back. That was my favorite part.
Oh god. Hi, I'm Nugatosaurus. I play Violet, the synthetic human, who's finding some interesting things and making new friends and possibly finding a sister. We'll see. I have three favorite parts. My first favorite part was, of course, Brewer jumping on the smushed alien like a bug. I absolutely love that. I had it in my head and it was fantastic. The second was absolutely the recording. I was not expecting it. It was phenomenal. I thought it was amazing. I'm super excited. I didn't realize it was actually somebody, so I'm super excited. I can't wait to figure out what that is. And then just any interaction with Violet and Walls. I think it's great.
Yes, it is great. Speaking of great, Dr. Walls, my good friend Greg, how you doing?
Oh, I'm absolute blast. The passion and the role-playing talent is infectious here. I had such a great time. Every time I play a game or GM one, I always have a moment of art that I get in my head that would make a great picture that I would hang on my wall or commission somebody to draw. And I have, obviously, the default one is the jumping on the door and then switching. That's like a cover of a comic book. But if I were to like pick one that I thought that really kind of captured a lot of what you all have done, it would be when Blaze and the Marines find the storage box that's the nice one to put their friend in, and then taking all that time to meticulously do that with the burned dog tags and everything. That really hit home with me. I thought that was a really, really powerful moment. And I'm so very, very thankful to be here and be an extremely small part of it. I enjoyed absolutely everything about it. You all are fantastic to play with and very fun to go with. And with Travis's knowledge of this system and this universe, it's fantastic. Just the best, just the absolute best. Grimjack21502 on the Twitter, part of the Tales from the Grim team on the Twitch. Follow me there, but make sure you're back here whenever we do Teenagers from Outer Space on Saturday mornings coming up, and hopefully Aliens, because Walls isn't done making friends and being trustworthy. See you next time.
Indeed. Yes. Teenagers from Outer Space. So excited. Love that campaign. You can also find Travis in that campaign. I believe our next date for that is the 22nd. Verifying that. Yes, the 22nd. 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern. It's so good. Speaking of good, great, amazing, we've got Blaze, Shiny Pilot, who was kicking ass even when he wasn't here. How are you doing?
Yay, go Blaze for killing and doing stuff when I wasn't even here. Sorry about being late, but it was good to be here. And on that note, it was fun to be able to hop in, and it's kind of that feeling where you're like, okay, I'm trying to catch up. I'm missing some pieces of info here. What's going on? Let's see what happens. But when you hop into this game, it's just like an instant, I kind of know what's going on. That oppressive feeling of survival on the planet against the aliens, and the mystery, the intrigue, the comedy, the wit, the seriousness. I mean, all of the things start kicking in. You start feeling all these things and seeing all these things, and it's kind of easy to start to slide back into what's going on, and at the same time get blown away by all the things that keep happening. Like the progression of the story is great. So thank you, Travis, for that. I love your world you're building for all of us to play, and thank you, everybody, for playing in this world, because it is becoming very, 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 very cool. I'm just really digging all this because I'm an Aliens fanboy. I love Aliens and the universe too that revolves around that. It's so cool to be able to play in this. So thanks for having me. Favorite part, I missed this whole jumping scene thing.
You have to go back and watch it. It was really good.
Go back and see this. Some of the favorite parts that I had, though, I liked the sound effects with the Predators, with them coming with their dropship. That was skin-chillingly, and then the transmission as well that came in the voice recording. That was solid. That was great. All the little effects that help make the world more real, pull you in a little bit more. I love stuff like that. So, anyways, yeah, it was great. Thank you, everybody. Thank you those for watching. Shiny Pilot on Twitch and Twitter's Shiny Pilot 26. Here Mondays and Tuesdays on Lindy's channels as well. So, yay! Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. And we've got Mr. Special Investigator himself. Deception check. How is that for you?
Oh my God, yeah. Everybody hit on all the parts I thought was great, but yeah, I'm at Deception Check. You can find me DMing Mondays in Exandria here with this fine group. Sans Greg, of course, and and Tuesdays playing Merrick Tenpenny on Miss Ravenloft, which is great, and of course Hank Granger here, where I get to try and make everyone like me and hate me in the same time in every episode. So it's kind of like I'm twinning Walls there. So yeah, I can't seem to make anyone happy when I try and be nice. So that's why he's a loner. Favorite parts, honestly, best part I think was Blaze organizing the recovery of the remains. That was the one of my favorite parts. It really spoke about the Marines. It spoke about Blaze, and I really accentuated his character that he's been playing this entire time. Can't pass up Brewer with the mech. That was just freaking amazing. I almost climbed, like I thought about climbing, like before, if it had survived longer, Granger was going to climb up on the back of the mech and be like the gun on top of the mech with him. But we didn't get to play that long with it, so that was too bad. And then the recording was spectacular. So Travis, you are the man. This is an amazing game. I am blessed to be able to play in it and to have you run this game and have all these great people to play with. So thank you so much.
Thank you for playing. My favorite part, before I go into what's going on the channel, was when the Yautja texted Walls going, "Oh, BT Dubs forgot the head. Oops." That was just incredibly amusing to me. Like, Like, it's not just us. We're not the only forgetful people out there. And
They're very focused. They're very focused on their mission.
which was to give me some weird thing that I have no idea what it is. Hopefully not a bomb.
Lindy, can I interrupt? I almost
Yes.
forgot this. I just want to say something. As a DM and as somebody that does NPCs all the time, when Travis had who was it, the guy that got upset when he had him talk to Granger and was like, "What the fuck do you mean? What?" Like, get mad at a PC? That never happened. NPCs never get pissed, and you got so genuinely pissed in that character. It was fantastic. I had to say that back.
I love Coleman. I love Coleman.
Hopefully, me being equally as pissed, but with a plan, helps calm him down a bit. I'm a good captain-ish. I might be a better captain than I am a medic. No one can argue with that. So,
It's getting better all the time.
it's getting better all the time. McKeelson, seen a lot of people die. Glad Blaze handled the funeral. McKeelson would be like, "Oh, yep, another one gone. Rest in peace," all that. So it's a really good thing that Blaze handled that. So while McKeelson has a lot of empathy, definitely renamed some of her stats to be, instead of compassion, it's now covering my ass. So if that doesn't say anything about her, I don't know what will. But this was just super awesome. I loved the Yautja for getting the head. I loved Brewer with the door like a fucking fly swatter. That was amazing. It was art. And I loved Greg sciencing live on stream with the face hugger. That was beautiful.
That's the part I was gonna mention. I knew. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good too. And then us actually having no idea what would happen, in chat being like, "Steam," and we were like, "Oh, there we have it. We've got it. Chemical reactions done." So that was beautiful. That was wonderful. I can't wait till we play again next. Of course, we do have Teenagers from Outer Space on the 22nd. 3 of us are in that once a month campaign of absolute. It's the exact opposite feeling of this. It's just laughs and shenanigans and 80s references and just off the walls insanity. I love it. You can find us here every Monday and Tuesday for Mondays in Exandria and Mists of Ravenloft, because those are super fun. D&D 5e campaigns as well. Also stay tuned for announcements of other mini campaigns coming up, such as The Expanse, when we can coordinate 5 people getting their schedules together. Stay tuned, for that is the greatest adventure of them all. And other projects also soon to be announced, hopefully. But yeah, thank you guys just so much for watching. This was absolutely wonderful. Thank you again, Greg, for guesting. Yes, you didn't die this week either, so you'll have to come back again. Oh no. And on that note, I'm gonna say goodbye, y'all. Have a wonderful weekend.